I'm Declan, the Games Master for Star Trek Adventures Odysseus, which is an actual play based on the Star Trek Adventures tabletop role-playing game. Before we dive in, I want to give you a quick introduction and explain a couple of things about this video. This is the first episode of our new season, Odysseus: A Time to Heal. We're just getting started with the campaign and we are finding our footing. Recording is new to us and we've hit a bit of a snag. Unfortunately, the first 4 minutes of the footage were unusable, so the video begins slightly abruptly. I need to bring you up to speed. So here's the setup. The USS Odysseus is a Federation hospital ship operating in a contested region of space between the Federation, the Klingon Empire, and the Romulan and Star Empire. This area is known as the Triangle. The Odysseus's mission is to provide crisis response, to deliver critical medical aid, and to serve as a diplomatic presence to represent the Federation in this volatile triangle area. As the video picks up, the players are just about to introduce their characters and set the stage for the adventures ahead. So thanks for watching, and let's get started. Unfortunately, I have no control over the order, so I'm going to use the order I've got on my screen, which may not be the same as the order you've got on your screens. So first, I've got Craig's character, Lincoln Rivera. So Craig, would you like to tell us maybe a few facts about Lincoln? Who is Lincoln? What does he do? And what should we know about him?
So Lincoln Rivera comes from Beta Z. He is a Betazoid. You can tell that from his deep, soulful brown eyes, which seem to peer into your soul as if he's reading your thoughts, which he is because he's a telepath. So sorry, can't turn it off. Slightly embarrassing. He is an extremely fit young man. He is kind of slightly bursting out of that uniform. He does all of the press-ups and is very much a fitness freak. He is a lieutenant junior grade in the security office. So while the ship is flying around, he leads a security team ready to go and respond to whatever nonsense is occurring that requires security to come and un-nonsense it, and commanding a small group of crewmen for that. When there are away parties, though, he is your close protection officer. He is the guy down there making sure that while all the medics and the geeks are nerding out about this or that disease, that some Klingon isn't creeping up behind them or some Romulan isn't hiding and about to sniper them. And he's there to do that, if needs be, that bodyguard dive and get in the way and then get his troops to return fire and protect you all. He is very, very team orientated and extremely curious, which is useful for spotting potential threats incoming. And he enjoys, when he is off duty, he enjoys running around, trying to outpace the thoughts in his head and doing synchronized swimming and water polo.
Okay, a couple of questions. Synchronized swimming. Is there a pool on the ship?
There is a pool on the ship. I checked the flight plans. It's not a big pool, so I think.
Okay, I'm going to say it's one of those infinity pools. You've got a current so you can keep swimming, and could it potentially be near after the ship with a glass bottom, so you can see out into the expanse of space?
Oh, I like that.
Probably variable opacity for those that are just a little
too unique by the thought of swimming right above the void of space.
Good phrase. Good way to put it.
I think a lot of the things that's frustrating Lincoln Rivera at the moment is he used to work on a starbase where he would be breaking up fights between different crews and throwing people out of bars and things, and now he's in a very small ship with very, very limited training space. So all of the things that he's expecting to be able to do to train up his guys, he now can't because there's just not enough space.
You answer to a guy called Grolic, who is the Nobulan chief of security. What's your relationship with him?
I'm a fairly new officer. What's Grolic like? Is he very by the book, or is he more kind of get stuff done?
My crewmates are like family. I may be expendable, but my charge is not. Okay.
That sounds like a kindred spirit for Rivera. One of the things that happened recently in Rivera's past is that he was escorting a diplomat and went down when the ship was ambushed. and spent 3 months in a very, very dangerous environment protecting that guy. So I think that story would probably probably impress Grolic.
I think Grolic probably views you as sort of a mentor-mentee relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like maybe
Yeah.
a slightly over-ambitious blonde-haired puppy that's it's a little bit too trying. Lincoln served.
Let's see if I can put Grolic on the screen as well. Well, actually, I should be able to. Can I? No. There is a way of sharing the token. But I can't remember what it is.
Yeah.
It's your turn.
No, that didn't do it.
Hmm.
And that didn't do it. Ah, there. Did that work?
That did. I can see him.
Perfect.
Very impressive.
Nobulan?
He is.
Oh, wait,
Nobulan.
is that my character?
No, this is Grolic, the chief of security.
Excellent.
Okay, you're right. It just looked very similar to Moga for a second.
Yeah, it's a racial similarity, I think.
Yeah, there's not a lot of variation in some respects on the thing.
No.
But it works well enough.
I like the art style.
Mm.
And Lincoln will find a fun sparring partner in the head of nursing.
Excellent.
I think you'll have to close that screen yourselves if
You
you want
don't-
to go away.
Okay.
So that's Lincoln. On my screen next, I've got Thalev, which I think is... Oh, that's your character, isn't it?
And if you played with Ed,
I've lost audio on you suddenly. That was terrible timing. I seem to have lost Hollis. I've lost everyone.
You haven't.
Can you hear me?
I can still hear you, Declan.
Okay.
yeah, I can see you.
I heard Cassie momentarily.
Beep, 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 beep.
Beep, beep.
Ah, yes, we can hear you. Brilliant.
I think you're just silent and it confused you.
Okay, so we didn't catch anything about Thalev, I'm afraid. I'm not even sure if I'm pronouncing the name correctly, so...
Oh. Oh, me?
Yep, the sound cut out as you were about to describe your character, I think.
Oh, yeah. If I was saying that if he likes to play with edged weapons, he may find a sparring partner in my character. Since I am a practitioner of the Ushantor. And he generally likes to carry the blade where he can, but he knows there are a great many circumstances in which he can't.
And he's taken to hiding it under his uniform.
Yeah.
That sounds uncomfortable.
Yes, just ever so. But he's got a jacket that is modified to, both minimize the bulk. Well, an Ushantor is a very flat weapon, but it's, basically gives him somewhere to put it, and instead of just stuffing it down the back of his pants, and also serves to hide its presence to some degree. His last assignment before this vessel, I'm drawing a blank on the name of the ship at the moment.
I don't think we were given it. I don't remember being given it.
I think it was some...
Yeah.
I think it was on the post on Start Playing, but I can't remember what it is. Things got a little ugly. Somebody engineered a virus to purify their race, and it got out of hand. So
cleansing.
Yeah. So, and then they decided when Sharon cracked the code for a cure, the fanatics decided to raid the lab, and Sharon was the only survivor. So that's... Yes, the cat's wandering in.
I'll shut the door.
Okay.
Okay, I think, if I remember correctly, Dr. Glenn Roberts is Andrew's character. So, Andrew, would you like to tell us a little bit about Dr. Glenn Roberts?
Yeah, Glenn is a humanoid. He is the chief surgeon on board.
Hang on. Humanoid, so not human.
Oh, humanoid. Oh no, of
You
course
said
he is.
humanoid. Is he
Did I?
human or?
No, it's human.
Oh, human. Okay. So human and humanoid.
Homegrown human. Yeah, there we go. He's the chief surgeon on board the ship. He values life. I know that sounds a bit cliche for a surgeon, but his philosophy is life in all its forms is a gift. Our duty is to preserve it, to understand it, and to honor it. I thought that was quite fitting for quite a chief sturgeon. That's a fish. I'm sorry, a chief surgeon. His career highlights: he rocketed through the academy, and just every sort of 6 months was gaining promotion after recommendation, and has been finally assigned to the USS. Oh God, here we go.
It's the Odysseus.
Odysseus, thank you. Yeah, he's. I don't know if Declan's going to put up a picture, but he's got the goatee and
It should be up. It should be at the bottom of the screen. Did it not come up?
That. I can't see anybody.
No, I don't see it.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any of the pictures at the bottom of the
I can see.
screen.
The,
I see what's probably a space for them.
In that case, let me just do that. So that is Dr. Glenn Roberts.
Yeah, loves his goatee. Keeps it nice and clean, combed. You know, looks after it. Makes sure the hair doesn't actually fall into people's bodies when he's surgeoning. But yeah, there we go.
And as a surgeon, I would suspect you work very closely with Dr. Marcus Reed, who is the head of anesthesiology. This gentleman.
Oh, we love our mustaches, don't we?
So.
Yeah,
okay.
We are actually part of the Mustache Appreciation Association.
So moving on, Cassie, I think Kennedy Bianchi is your character. Let me just bring up a picture for everyone. So I'm hoping everybody can see that picture.
Let's see. Yep.
Yes, Lieutenant Kennedy Bianchi is our head of nursing.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think. Give me a second. Yeah. Lieutenant Kennedy Bianchi, very much a woman who does not believe that children carry the sins of their parents due to some of her own past. A name some of you some of your characters who have an interest in psychology or criminal law may recognize as her father, Jacob Bianchi, a serial killer. Notable if only for the fact that he was a serial killer at all.
Yeah, I got my impression is always that they're very rare they're rare in the Federation.
Kennedy does not talk about it. If asked, she will give the minimal information answer of, I'm aware of my father's crimes. I was the one who made the call that got him arrested. After that, she doesn't say much more. Also, she's fully willing.
Sorry, Cassie.
And yeah, so she will bodily shove someone out of her ward if she thinks they're going to do something that will cause stress for her patients, such as a politician attempting to use them for political purposes. The calm lake is her approach to life. Until you push buttons, and then you've got an angry nurse. Who knows all sorts of fun pressure points.
Okay, Nick, we haven't heard from you yet, so I'm hoping your audio is working. Let me very quickly bring up a picture of Mike Rendell.
Mike might be too quiet.
We can hear you, yeah, perfect. So I believe Mike Rendell is your character? Or is it Rendell? I'm not quite sure if it's Rendell or Rendell.
No, Mike Rendell.
Full?
Yeah, Rendell. Yeah. So Mike, he's pretty he's kind of new to the ship. He's only been a biomedical system specialist for a while. Throughout the academy, he was constantly working with other people in engineering teams to be fixing parts of ships, parts of equipment for different departments, such as either piloting or medical. And after dealing with some problems with imaging equipment back at the academy, and he got pretty used to it. And so he thought that maybe a career in the medical department would be better for him. And then after fixing a couple of different machines that were happening while dealing with a plague on the, I'm assuming any plague on really any planet, he got really used to using the different imaging equipment that would be needed to scan the bodies of different beings. And so yeah, now it's on. This is now. I would say this is probably like one of his first weeks now on the USS Odysseus, and he's pretty excited to see what other good he can do.
Okay, you've all got a secondary character. I'm not going to bother introducing them. I'm not expecting them to appear in this session very much, and I think we'll have enough trouble getting to grips with these 5 characters. So, yes, you've got a secondary character, but it will crop up probably in sort of future sessions. The exception to that is the captain, and the reason I say the captain is the exception is because we will start with the captain's log. However, let me start by moving us to the rec room. And whilst the rec room loads for people, I will try and share. He says try to share.
We can see our pictures, by the way, now. Declan.
Oh, oh, brilliant.
All right.
Right, so hopefully there is a captain's log there. Oh no, hang on, if I shared the wrong one. If I just manage to share the GM's notes, please ignore them.
Season notes.
Okay, I shall close it right now.
What I'm hoping to share is a thing which starts off with. Oh.
I've got episode 1 synopsis.
Oh, don't read that. Don't read that.
Okay.
That's a great start. Okay.
I just got the season notes.
Just close that and I will reshare it without accidentally sharing the GM's notes.
We're metagaming.
I don't think we saw the GM's notes.
I saw something about the stardate, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Let's share the correct one this time. Configure ownership. All players. Servers. Save. Show to players. Okay, did that work? Have you now got the captain's log for you to happily read because you actually own the captain?
Yeah.
I can see the captain's log.
Perfect. That's the one I was hoping you'd be able to see.
Oh.
So ignore the date and just start from star date 8392.
Oh, you want me to read it out, yeah?
Hang on, I've done the. Oh no, I'm showing the right thing. Okay, cool. Yeah.
Right. Captain's log, stardate 8392.33. The USS Odysseus and crew have been diverted from our medical resupply mission in the mining planet of.
A bit of an echo there.
Starfleet Command has redirected us to Kolil 5, an icy, uninhabited world located deep within the Triangle. The planet, home to vast preserver ruins buried beneath the ice, serves as the focus of joint archaeological efforts by several major powers. A distress signal from the AOFW Science Council indicates a medical emergency involving a Vulcan archaeologist. Initial reports suggest symptoms of severe mental disorientation and hallucinations. Complicating matters, the station hosts delegations from the United Federation of Planets, the Klingon Empire, the Romulan Star Empire, the Orion Colonies, and the AOFW itself. Starfleet intelligence has cautioned that tensions between these groups are already running high. Our orders are to provide medical aid and maintain neutrally while avoiding any escalation. This mission underscores the delicate balance we walk on the Federation's borders. The Odysseus is equipped to treat the ill, but diplomacy may prove to be the harder medicine to administer. End log.
So, for the purpose of this mission, because there are certain rules around what your mission directives are to provide medical assistance to the Federation contingent, and the Vulcan in particular, to preserve the neutrality and diplomatic balance, and to investigate the cause of the incident. And at this point, I'm going to close that. You are all unaware of that. You are sitting having breakfast. You have just... Bear with me. Yeah, you were supposed to be on your way for a medical resupply mission to Iovine. That doesn't sound particularly difficult. None of you were expecting to have to do anything there. Your recent mission has been fairly arduous, and you're all looking forward to a break. It's probably about this point when Lincoln, you notice that the stars outside have shifted, suggesting that even at warp, the ship has turned, which is a bit of a concern.
Yeah, Lincoln spots the ship has changed course, and he just pots down his knife and fork just for a second, just to see if we're about to go to red alert, and then waits for a second, and then when we don't, he just continues eating. Looks over at Mike and says, change course. Wonder why.
Could be we got a new directive. Could be nothing.
You mentioned on. Just as long as it's not like a freezing cold planet. I don't like freezing cold planets.
Yeah, I wouldn't like to go to a freezing cold planet anytime soon.
What's wrong with the cold?
You're on an ice planet.
And?
I spent my later teenage years in Nevada.
I've been to Nevada. I left as quickly as possible.
Attention. All
Where do you think I
teams.
did survival training?
Incoming
I was
transmission
there
from
because my
Starfleet
father
Medical.
was arrested.
Updated hand washing
We're not
protocols
going to go there
all
again.
through 1430 in the day suite and are available to download for personal review. The new protocol will be in place from 0000 hours.
1430 in the day suite and are available to download for personal review.
We've got a
Maybe
great
we
echo
need
on
more.
every sound system. Okay.
It worked
There is-
fine.
I thought you engineers were sorting that echo out.
It's been a faulty thing in the system.
They
I
can't
might
fix everything.
Oh, it's not a scanner, so you're not bothered.
Not scandal, not anything medical, not me.
He's medical technology, dude. Just let him be.
You sort of have noticed that the stars are parting a little slower now, suggesting that potentially you're about to drop out of warp. And then suddenly you drop out of warp. There is a planet that does not look anything like Iovine, and there is also a Klingon D7 also in orbit.
Well, that's
Yeah.
not good.
Oh, brother.
Might be a problem.
Yeah, that's going to be a yellow at least. Come on then.
Space. The final frontier. These are the voyages of the hospital ship Odysseus. Her mission, to heal the wounded, to aid the vulnerable, and to uphold the ideals of the Federation. On the borders of Federation space, in regions fraught with danger and opportunity, she boldly ventures to kindle hope on strange new worlds.
It's so pretty.
That was so nice. So clean.
Oh,
Oh my god.
It did sound like somebody's machine lagged a lot in that. So I think somebody may not have seen the whole thing.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. Ooh, and there's our planet.
Nice. Oh, the planet.
We've got the ships as well.
It's like
Oh.
us and the Klingons.
The planet, you don't recognize it, because at this point you're completely unaware of the captain's orders. But it looks icy, and there is a D7 clearly also in orbit around it.
Is that supposed to be?
I don't know.
I thought we were doing medical resupply.
So did I.
It usually doesn't involve Klingons.
Well, depending on the resupplies.
I have a feeling there's going to be politics involved in this. I hate politicians.
Or phaser fire.
I prefer phaser fire.
There's suddenly a ship's intercom noise, and then a call for each of you, the full list of you, to report to Shuttle Bay 2.
Up we go.
Mm.
There is a last mournful look at her sausage, her biscuits and gravy before she stands.
Off we go.
Come on, everybody.
Yep. Tron will stand and head for Shuttle Bay 2.
Mm.
what exciting threat do we think it's going to be this time? Giant monsters? Aliens with tentacles? Aliens with other scary tentacles?
More Klingons.
Ooh, Klingons are fun.
Pretty fun.
They're a good light, I suppose. Haven't
What do you
fought
reckon?
one yet.
Do you think these Klingons will talk first or shoot first?
Well, they haven't.
Shoot first.
I'm going to go with talk first because they haven't started shooting at us yet.
Also,
Ooh,
we're nowhere near their territory, I think.
That's some very good threat assessment there. Well done.
Well,
waiting for you in Shuttle Bay 2. I'm going to try and add these to the stage. So I don't know if they're going to appear or not. I have tried adding them to the stage. No, not the dental assistant. Right. So there are two characters waiting for you down there. Dr. Joseph has not come across very well as a picture for me. Did you get two pictures, one of which has not worked very well?
Yep, we got
no.
Oh,
we just have the mask thing like there's not a picture there at all.
I'll sort that
and
out.
then we've got the ship pilot.
Waiting for you in Shuttle Bay 2. There is Emrys that you know is an ensign. Just joined the ship. She's a Katian shuttlecraft pilot. The other person waiting for you there is Dr. Joseph Valencia, who is the chief medical officer on the ship. And Joseph looks at you. Sorry to pull you away from your breakfast. We've had an urgent call. Apparently there is some sort of research outfit on Colliel 5. Joint research. It's the land actually belongs to the AOWF, the affiliation of Outer Free Worlds. You're probably familiar with them. They're a group of worlds situated in the sort of no man's space between Federation, Romulan and Klingon space that have decided to band together for their own protection. For whatever reason, they don't want to join the Federation. Anyway, they found a preserver city, and to avoid war, they've opened it up for exploration by other the Federation, the Romulans, the Klingons themselves, the Orions. The place is a sort of it's a joint research facility into this preserver city buried under the ice. Anyway, from what I understand, one of our archaeologists has taken ill, and they've flagged a medical emergency, so we're here. Just remember that this place doesn't belong to us; it belongs to the AOFW, and they've designated the place a sort of open area to archaeologists, if you like. So try not to cause a fuss down there.
Lincoln's going to raise
Okay,
his hand. Cool.
Yeah. You can see Joseph searching, Joseph Link, searching for your name.
Lieutenant?
Lieutenant, yes.
Sorry, I maybe missed that day at the academy. Who are the preservers?
Preservers. You can see him looking suspiciously at you. They're an ancient race that were meant to have resettled people, like moved Vulcans to Romulus to start the Romulan Empire, moved humanity all over the place, which is why we keep discovering planets with humans on them.
Those preservers. Okay. So like their bases traps.
To be honest,
Adrenaline.
this is the first pretty much intact preserver city we found. Most of them are ruins, so traps not so much because there's not much standing. But this is buried under the ice, and that's preserved it. Preserved to preserve a city, yes.
Oh, complete mystery then. Okay. Thanks, sir.
So we're dealing, instead of with booby traps, it sounds like we may be dealing with ancient malfunctioning technology.
Causing some health issues. Let's hope it isn't cancer. That's a pained trait.
The report we said it was a medical emergency. I don't know.
Do you know any symptoms?
Not really. The report we got was pretty brief. I'm afraid you're going to have to get down by shuttlecraft. The AOFW are concerned about tomb raiders, people stealing stuff from the architectural grounds. So they've got some sort of force field around the place.
Something to prevent us from using transporters?
Yeah, well, stop anyone from using transporters. I don't think it was just us. I think it was anybody. Anyway, Ensign MRS, I believe, is quite a capable shuttlecraft pilot. So the ensign will quite happily pilot you down.
Sounds like a plan.
The obvious question at this point is which shuttle you're taking. So the ship has a wide variety of shuttles. Let me just see if I can share the handout with the Odysseus guide. I'm hoping you've all got rights to read that.
Yep.
So you should be able to drop down to a bit about shuttlecraft and see the details of the shuttlecraft available.
That's a lot of shuttlecraft.
It is a lot of shuttlecraft. I would suggest you don't try taking your work bee.
No. Well, we could all take one each.
I don't think we need that many shuttles.
I'm guessing you're either taking Class F
Mission.
or
We
a
don't
medical.
need that many. I say we take a medical shuttle.
Yeah,
Agreed.
There's medical problems down there, so yeah, medical shuttle.
Oh,
I would immediately just start walking towards the medical shuttle.
Okay, and there is always one prepped. The policy is you've got 2 medical shuttles, one may be in repairs, but you always keep one prepped.
medical shuttles get prepped by medical staff, and for some reason they often forget to include weapons in them. So can I just go to a weapons lock and make sure I have a hand phaser? Because the last time we did this, it wasn't charged and it was a whole nightmare.
For clarification, one hand phaser. There is one phaser Mark 1 on the ship.
Yeah, but they never charge them, so I'm going to take one from the main shuttle bay.
Okay, you're not taking 2 or 3 or 4.
Let's see, how many other people who might be useful do we have? I mean, Mike knows how to use a weapon and things.
I've used one.
I will take. Could I take like a small handle with like 6 or 7 hand phasers?
Yeah, that seems absolutely fine.
Rats.
Mine raises her hand and requests you grab her one as well. I may not be the greatest in combat, but I can absolutely shoot someone.
If you don't mind, I'd like to head back to my quarters for a moment.
It probably raises some questions from the chief medical officer, but just to raise an eyebrow.
I just thought I'd like to take my Ushan Tor with me. A weapon, if things do get lively, a weapon nobody knows I have.
Are you saying that out loud? So we'll.
Well, he's saying it quietly to the chief medical officer.
Okay, so I don't know that yet.
Yeah, well, you probably have seen him practicing with it.
Yeah.
You may have seen him practicing with it, but you don't know.
That doesn't mean I assume he's got it underneath his shirt.
Well, not at the moment. No, he wasn't expecting this.
I see. So breakfast, we don't go armed for, but missions of mercy, definitely.
That sounds
Missions of mercy with Klingons around we go for, armed for.
Excellent. Good survival instincts.
Mine just aims for the shins.
Dr. Valencia frowns. Well, you know best. It's your mission. Personally, I wouldn't bring any extra blades with me, but you know best.
It also doubles as a surgical implement in a pinch.
Yeah, I believe you. Dr. Valencia, by the way, as well as being the chief medical officer, is actually his specialty is obs and gynae. I'm not quite sure how useful it is on the ship, but he is a very, very good administrator.
Yeah. While Falev has mysteriously disappeared off to his quarters for some reason, I'm going to help the Cation ensign run through the pre-flight checks for the shuttle.
I'm going to make sure I have my personal medical kit fully stocked.
Oh.
I'm not that stupid.
Sure.
The ship does actually have a really good supply in it. These medical ships have got, freezers with all the appropriate drugs which need to be kept cool, and little cupboards with all the other stuff.
It's mostly basic stuff: dermal regenerators, some bandages, gauze, painkillers, and a little bit of some antibiotics. Things like that.
Okay, Craig, you are helping Emrez with the pre-flight checks. Emrez runs through them very, very fast.
Yeah.
And making sure that all the beds for patients are good and all that jazz, because I am the head of nursing, and if my patients get banged around, I'm going to be upset.
The ship doesn't have very many patients at the moment. There's an ensign who managed to break a leg on the holodeck a couple of days ago, but apart from that, the sick bay is
so she goes through, she does checks, she does her rounds. She knows her staff can do just fine, but she just wants to make sure everything's good and golden. She will tell them, "You will stay in this until I get back, or so help me every star in the galaxy. I will strap you to that bed."
Cassie?
No heroics for any of you.
Take it down.
The one person in sick bay is quite happy to stay in bed, for the moment at least. Okay.
Fine in a couple of days. Please stay down. Don't make us more work. I beg. The mission I just got called for sounds to be enough of a pain in the ass.
Mm.
And remember, everyone, this is more towards our staff. If they get too rowdy, not sedate them. You have hypos, use them.
Mm.
And then she heads back to the shuttle bay and hops in the shuttle, sits in her seat and waits for everyone else.
Oh, Telev will just, just as quietly as he left, take a seat, strap himself in.
And wait.
Being sensible. Right, I'm going to repaste the GM's notes into something because I deleted them earlier on when I accidentally shared them with everybody.
No use.
There we go.
My character specialty, I remember. Oh, virologist.
Oh, infectious. I switched that out for infectious diseases, a little broader. Specialties being broad seems to be the way they do things in Star Trek Adventures.
Yeah, fairly broad, yeah.
Education.
Infectious diseases works fine. It sort of seems about right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which means you're the designated person to give any safe sex talks. STDs count as an infectious disease.
Quiet.
Oh. The shuttle journey down, it's a little rough. The ensign seems incredibly competent. Especially considering they've just managed to come out of academy. And they eventually bring you down at the science research station on Collier 5. There is a small landing pad at the back of the place. When you get out of the shuttle, temperatures here are about minus 10 Celsius.
So I'm fine. Everybody else is cold.
Yeah,
I grabbed
freezing.
coat.
Yes, I'm cold.
You also notice that the snow is red and the ice is red.
Curious.
You won't see that every day.
Normally, I only see that when blood's involved.
What material?
Biological contamination, perhaps?
Have you got a tricorder? I think you probably do.
Yeah.
Let's try a roll. At the moment, there is no momentum. This is a difficulty 0 roll. So as long as you don't roll a 20, it's okay.
Okay.
So let me guide you through how you make a roll on this. You open your character sheet. You tick the 2 stats that you are going to be using. In this case, I would have suggested it's probably
reason and insight.
I'd say reason and science, probably. So you tick those 2 boxes, and then you click perform task.
Where's... there we go.
And then it'll ask you things like, do you want to spend momentum? You can't because there is none. You could tick if you have a focus that would match. I don't think you do.
I don't know. Unless there's a biological component, but that would come... infectious diseases might kick in.
It doesn't in this case.
Okay.
So as long as you don't roll a 20, this is going to be okay.
Nice.
1 success. So you have 1 point of momentum. 1 more than you needed.
Okay.
And there is a fairly large iron content to both the rain, or the snow I should say, and the settled snow.
Iron in the rain. Yeah. Okay.
Just there must be a heavy metal content, large amount of heavy metal content in any water present on the planet, I guess.
Yeah. Strange. I've seen this before, but to be this widespread.
The key thing here is it's not good for survival. You can't melt this and drink it.
No.
Unless you heavily purify it of the iron.
Yeah. Okay.
You must have
Peace.
rigorous water purification if there's heavy iron content in the snow.
Hmm.
Can't
All right.
imagine what the groundwater's like.
The
Worse, probably.
Eh.
Is it
Alright.
dangerous to be out here? Do we need to go inside?
Yeah, it's freezing. I mean, you know,
Oh, yeah,
the,
it's freezing.
Everybody
Yeah,
inside.
I just go in.
I'm the one you have to deal with if you get a cold. In.
as you
Myself.
head in, there is a Tellarite waiting for you. I will see if I can share him.
Just as we walk up to the Tellarite, can I just check our comms with MRes, just to check that we can call our rescue taxi if we need?
You realise that the iron in the atmosphere is going to reduce your comm range quite significantly. Yes, from here works fine, but you're only 20 yards
Couple
from it.
hundred feet.
Oh,
But you're fairly sure this is going to impact things pretty badly.
okay. Whatever we're doing the rest of the scene, can I just be trying to build a mental map in my mind of escape routes? If we need to get back to the ship, what's our fastest way of doing it?
Okay, cool.
I think in this case, probably it'd be my character who takes the lead talking to the Tellarite because, you know, head of nursing, patient, all that jazz.
Hmm.
So my character walks a few paces ahead of the group to get first and asks very much, where's we were called here for a medical emergency. Where is our patient? And
Yes,
do you know
yes.
any of their preliminary symptoms?
Yes. I'm Dr. Norgren. I'm not the commander of this facility. I'm not the leader of the facility. Dr. Stolbeck, our Vulcan lead, unfortunately is quite ill. He's exhibiting very erratic behaviour. He's running a temperature. He's
Is anyone else experiencing any unusual symptoms?
Not just things like what we are having with the head of the facility, other symptoms that could be considered out of the ordinary or without outside the range of typical illnesses for someone to get, especially with the cold weather. Is the snow outside typical with its heavy iron content?
Oh, the snow outside, it's not very typical at the moment. No, it's quite warm. But it will get colder. I wouldn't stay out here overnight if I were you.
We'll do our best, but we may not be able to go up to the ship. I may need to stay with the patients.
But believe me, our research station is quite warm. It is well insulated.
I apologize. I have not introduced myself. I am Kennedy Bianchi. I'm the head of nursing for the USS Odysseus. These are my associates. I will make a hand wave motion and enable them to motioning for them to introduce themselves.
Yeah.
Enough of that. Enough. I should tell you about Dr. Solbeck. You said you were the nurse.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes. He sort of glances around. I was expecting a medical team. There seems to be a.
Dr. Philip Chashron at your service.
And security.
It is protocol to typically send at least one or two security officers. We're more of a preliminary team at the moment, unless it becomes a bigger situation that more medical staff may come down from the Odysseus.
Well, I should tell you, you appear to be armed. We don't normally have weapons within the facility. As far as I know, the only person with a weapon in the facility is that Commander Kragron who arrived yesterday, and I was a bit afraid to try and take a weapon off a Klingon, to be quite honest.
Protocol, I'm afraid.
Yes. You know, a huge rifle.
We have incidents.
A huge rifle?
Yes. He was quite intimidating, and asking him to give it up. I mean, we did hint. Anyway.
Normally they have maybe a Barclay or a phaser pistol. Unusual for them to have a rifle.
Yes. Anyway, Dr. Solveig. Dr. Solveig is our leader, but he's taken ill, and his symptoms are a little bit unusual, in that they seem to be affecting people who come near him. He's
Near him?
yes. The people who've been treating him have suffered hallucinations.
Which one of us is playing the Betazoid?
Me.
I just kind of give him a look and I said, "Are
Yeah,
you
that sounds
thinking
like
what I'm?" Huh?
Yeah, that sounds like telepathy.
Yeah. What symptoms are people around him experiencing?
Strange hallucinations, nausea, paranoia, and if I was a religious man, I'd say they were speaking in tongues. It's very strange.
Do these symptoms lessen if they're away from him, or the longer they've not been in contact or around him, or do they get worse if they're spending longer time in close proximity?
Well, that's the thing. Initially, it was just the scientist who was tending to him, but then it started affecting everybody in the same room. And yesterday, people in the adjoining room were feeling. Well, you don't so much feel paranoid, but their activities are becoming more obvious and more. It's very, very worrying.
Rivera, I apologize as you're not a member of the medical team or nor someone who might come in, but would you be so adverse as to take a look inside the mind of the doctor as well as those who I hesitate to use the word, but for the moment it's the closest thing we have, infected?
If, he's a Vulcan and they think loud, I'd suggest if I take a look at some of the guys he's influenced first, see if I can figure out what that is. If this guy's really broadcasting, I don't want to be touching like a live wire.
Sensible precaution. Not to mention if he is broadcasting paranoia, then that would be You
isolate him as best you can.
I'm pretty good at resisting other people's influences.
Nothing towards you, Rivera. I was asking the good doctor here, if they've isolated him or anyone he's come in close contact with who he's infected. As I said previously, I hesitate to use that word, but it's the best we've got to describe what's happening.
Maybe not infected.
The effects do seem to wear off as when the person is parted from him. It's more a temporary thing. It does seem to be extending its reach, though. Anyway, let me show you the facilities. At which point, Dr. Torval Nogren starts heading into the building.
Yeah. As we walk, I might need to ask you a few more questions. How many of your people have strong mental shields?
Well, that's the thing. We're quite a small contingent because the UFP are only allowed three scientists, and we have a small administrative staff as well. A couple of people who assist us, but it was mainly me, my assistant, and Dr. Solveig here. There are also 3 Klingon scientists, 3 Romulan scientists, and 3 Orion scientists. And of course, the affiliation of Outer Free Worlds. This is their site. They have, I think, 16 scientists on site, but we, the Klingons, the Romulans, and the Orions, have only got 3 each.
If this may sound like an odd request, but can you put a message out to the other teams requesting people with very strong mental shields, the strongest you can get?
You want me
let's not get ahead of. Let's not get ahead of things.
I may need you to do that. Not at the moment, but if we need more assistance, I would prefer it to be those with more strong mental shields. And I understand that this may be admitting weakness or a problem to those of the other affiliations. This could affect all scientists and administrative staff, not just the Federation. So I believe at a certain point it would be in our best interest to put the ping out.
I'm not sure. I didn't want to say anything, and Sub-Commander Tehran of the Romulan Star Empire has been asking questions about where Dr. Solveig is, I thought it was probably best not to say anything to the Romulans about his illness. Obviously, I'm his second in command, but they've been asking questions why he's not attending meetings and stuff.
Tell them he is ill at the moment, but you hope that he will soon recover, and he's currently on bed rest.
Okay.
Hopefully that will placate him long enough for us to solve what's going on here.
Yeah.
Before we have to ping out a warning or a request of aid for any of the other scientists or administrative staff from the other affiliations.
Well, I'm hoping I won't have to tell them anything for at least a short while. There is a council, a science council tomorrow morning, where theoretically we need to present ourselves. All the 5 sets of archaeologists come together and agree the research for the next week. And I think his presence or lack of presence there will be fairly obvious. But at least until tomorrow morning, we have a little bit of lead time.
Yes. If necessary, I can go and speak at the council.
I think it would be better if the doctor was the one to do the speaking. He's a familiar face. You will be startling.
But
we want to preserve the appearance of as much normality as we can manage.
Yeah, but at a certain point, the questions will become too much, and
for now,
we'll need to give answers.
We need to stall, which means
I am bad at stalling. Apologies. I usually run for the hills or go for a fight.
Let me describe this building to you so you've got an idea. It's got a large open atrium area. There's a tree in the middle of it, some sort of little bit of grass around the outside of it, and apart from that, there is no wildlife inside it. Around the atrium, there are sort of sections belonging to the various nationalities. There's a United Federation of Planets area, there's a Klingon area, there's a Romulan area, there's an Orion area. The affiliation of Outer Free Worlds, because it is their location, they have a fairly large section off the back of it near the shuttle landing area.
Dr. Norgren, if we needed to pull out this guy, how is there a way where we could keep everyone else away from him? Are there corridors we can lock off?
Would you not just beam him to your...
Not with you having an enormous energy shield up, we can't.
Oh no, it's a dome. You should be able to beam him to the shuttle quite happily.
Oh, that's good.
That might solve most of our issues.
Yeah. I'm going to look quizzically at our science guy. Rendell, does that sound sensible?
Well, he's going to be away from most of the metals besides us, but then again, if we just quarantine that one part of our shuttle, it should not be too difficult.
Yes, to my knowledge, although my memory isn't perfect, I know the Federation has techniques and tactics in order to create sort of mental dead rooms that mental things that affect the mind cannot get in or out of. If necessary, we might have to create one on the ship and beam him up so that we can put him in there, or create one down here.
We are definitely sort of movie era, so at this point, no, you don't have the technology.
Technology doesn't exist yet.
Right.
We have drugs that we can use to either knock him out or potentially reduce his.
Oh yes, you've got drugs, which will do the job.
Sedate.
Drugs need to go, or do we?
We'd probably have sedatives on the shuttle.
No, I meant the drugs to lessen the mental effects.
That might require a little creativity. Let's get a better idea of what we're dealing with first before we start playing mad scientist.
Yes. Also, she turns to the rest of them and says, "How good are your mental shields? I know mine are fairly strong." I had a Vulcan trying to poke it, and they blinked at me and said, "Ask me why my mind was that well shielded."
Yeah, no, you're a bit difficult to get a read of.
Apologies, I have parts of my past I'd rather not talk about, unless it was of my own free volition.
Oh, I don't pry.
All right, let's have a look at this doctor.
As you head into the main part of the building, a lady walks over to you. Hello, you must be the new delegation from the Federation. I didn't quite catch your reason for being here. I'm Dr. Francine Keller. I'm the leader here for the affiliation of Outer Free Worlds. This is our facility, and I was Dr. Nogren told me that he was expecting visitors, but he didn't really explain who you were.
We are a team from the USS Odysseus, medical ship.
Medical ship?
One of the scientists for the Federation delegation is having some difficulties with an unusual load and illness. We are here to aid that as best we can, but I do request that you please keep what I've told you quiet, aside from the fact that we are a medical team. I don't want them to cause panic. I am Kennedy Bianchi. I am the head of nursing of the USS Odysseus.
Yep.
I don't want to cause a panic. We are trying to keep this quiet.
While you're here, can I ask a favour of you? One of our archaeologists has come down with something. Tila Vera. She's Bolian, and she seems quite unwell. If you could have a look at her while we're here.
Unwell.
She's sleeping a lot. She's having a fever. She's crying out in her sleep. And saying strange things that nobody understands. Even our translators don't seem to be able to translate them.
Kennedy looks at Shran and with a look of, do you think this might be connected?
I can take a look at her.
Based on your description of her symptoms and the description of the symptoms of the doctor, it may be related. Please isolate her as best you can.
I'll take a look at her. Let's not leap to conclusions.
But for safety's sake, isolate her as best you can.
All right. If you'll lead the way.
So, am I to understand that you're heading towards the AOFW stick person, whilst Cassie is heading towards.
I'm going with them. Why don't Lincoln and everybody else head to check on the Vulcan?
And then we'll meet up.
Why are you splitting off? I can't protect you if you run the other way.
I think we're perfectly safe here.
Just remember, when you come to trouble, you scream real loud.
Mentally. Don't scream out loud. It'll alert them too much.
Any way that says, I'm in trouble and I need a big beefy guy with a phaser there. Then
I have my communicator. I will let you know if I need assistance.
Good.
Okay, just so you know, your communicators work fine within this base. Outside, they've probably got a range of about 1 kilometer.
Interference from the iron?
Yeah.
I asked the Alliance of Outer Free Worlds lady, do you know why there's so much rain in the ice and snow?
It's winter.
Not rain, iron. Wrong word, sorry. I was attracted for this, damn it.
I think that's just normal for this planet, to be quite honest.
Oh well.
Normal for
You must have very good water purification.
Okay.
To be honest, there's not a great deal of need for purification. On the entire planet, there are the 78 people in this facility, or 84 now that you're out.
The iron content in the snow, the groundwater must be far worse.
Oh yes, I'm sure it is. But we get our water shipped in, so we don't need to worry too much. In fact, all our supplies are shipped in.
I'd expect you to at least have some hydroponics.
There's
not a large enough facility.
I suppose that's the paranoia in me.
We're not very far from Khalil 3 if things go wrong. We can just, we can get supplies in a couple of hours.
Paranoia, I suppose.
Okay.
Okay. Dr. Nogrin is going to lead the main contingent into the Federation area, so I'll deal with that first, and then I'll deal with Shran and what happens there. It's all very clinical. There are quite thin sort of metal doors with windows all over the place. It looks like they've got every high-tech facility you could expect for archaeologists. Not so great for medical stuff, but it looks like they've got sort of dating equipment, they've got various drilling equipment, they've got all sorts of scanners, etc. Dr. Nogrin looks to you. Well, we've got him in his room because that's the best place we've got for not so much quarantining, because I guess there's air circulation, but at least it keeps him out of physical contact with people. I'll leave you to deal with it. I'm going to step back because honestly, I don't really fancy having strange visions again.
Yes, Doctor, could you request that other members of the Federation contingent please stay away from his room for the moment?
Yes, of course. Yes, of course.
Thank you. This is out of character, but sorry guys, I do talk a lot. If you need me to shut up, tell me.
Okay, I can do that.
Also,
Yeah.
I do swear as a habit, so sorry in advance.
Mind your language.
Okay.
So how do we want to approach this, guys?
Rivera? Lieutenant Rivera, would you mind, before the doctor walks away, do you know of anyone who's come in contact recently enough they might still be affected by the doctor?
We've started trying to stay very well, a decent distance from his room. So no.
Drat.
To be honest, if anybody is affected, we drag them away as quickly as possible.
Rivera?
I can go in, but
Sounds like a lot, but I might need you to poke into everyone's head at least slightly. Not deep, just to see if they've been affected.
I can do that.
Thank you.
I'm mostly a receiver rather than a transmitter, but if he goes completely nuts, we don't want to just have two telepaths boosting his signal.
I'm aware the Betazoids are mostly receiving, but I know that you can at least look a little closer at what you're receiving to see if you can see any traces of what the doctor has previously mentioned in their thoughts and emotions.
GM, how loud is this guy from the other side of that wall?
Oh, no, that's a really good question, and I really should have thought of that. Yeah, as you get into the room, you can feel your... you don't have shields, but you have trained yourself to ignore stuff that you don't want. And you can feel him pounding on your mind. But what is pounding on your mind is not the logical, structured sense you're used to from Vulcans. This is vibrant and excited and emotional and not very Vulcan at all.
Would this cause...
He hasn't said anything about it.
Okay, he is one loud Vulcan. Oh boy. That's not normal for Vulcans.
Are you listening to what's going on in his head?
I'm just commenting on the volume at the moment. But what I might do is just find a seat or something.
Mm-hmm.
Take a seat, and then I'm just going to... And safety first, I'm going to take out my phaser. I'm going to make sure it's set to stun, and I'm going to hand it to Mike. Hey, Mike, hold this for me.
Good idea.
I think I know where this is going.
Just in case.
Let me guess, he doesn't sound like a typical Vulcan?
You just said that.
Yeah, he's loud.
Oh.
For his head.
Vulcans are normally loud, but they're controlled.
Loud, but it's easy enough to ignore because it's not exactly sirens or heavy metal running.
Yeah, it's like
very loud classical music.
Like a metronome. Vulcans go tick tock, tick tock, tick tock all the sudden time, and underneath there's all this stuff going on. Like, have you met that the chief petty, Captain German. He's TikTok, but underneath he is like all the way there. This guy doesn't have a TikTok. He's all full blast. He's got nothing.
Startlingly like a pre-Serapian Vulcan. Startling.
Right, let's see. Okie dokie, I'm going to sit here, I'm going to keep my hands clenched. If my hands unclench before I, wake up and say hi, Mike, I need you to stun me.
I'll try my best.
When are you going to stun me? What are you looking for?
I'm looking for an unclenched fist.
Good man. And I'm going to try and, just from this distance, I'm going to start trying to tune in. To see if I can start to make sense of this.
Which attribute and discipline do you get?
Because I'm not stupid, and he just asked for, in case of emergency, a man to stun him. So there is a knockout hypo in one hand.
Leave it at that, okay?
I think this is probably... I think this is maybe either... I think this is... I think I'm trying to resist him, so I think this is more probably... no, this is probably insight, isn't it?
I think it's either insight or daring, depending on your approach.
Let's go with insight.
Yep.
And could this be insight command? I'm trying to get a read on him.
Yes.
So I tick insight, I tick command.
I'm afraid that the complication range on this is going to be a 3.
Mm-hmm.
Things could go horribly wrong here.
Can I use my focus for investigation in this?
Yes, you can.
And then how do values work? What can I use values for?
Okay, you can use a value if you have a point of discipline, which you do because everybody started with a point of discipline. You can say this matches my value. Determination, sorry, what I said discipline. Yeah, determination. In which case you effectively set one of your dice to a 1 and are guaranteed a success or a critical success on that die.
Cool. So I'm not going to do that yet. I might do that if I need to resist this guy. For the moment, I'm just going to use my my focus of investigation. So I tick using a focus box.
You can also use determination after the roll to re-roll some of the dice if you need to.
Okay. Good. So I've got 2 dice in the pool. So do I just roll?
There is a point of momentum if you want to use it.
Don't think so. Let's keep that momentum just where it is for the moment. We'll see how well I do. Because if I fail this, it's not a disaster. So that is a
2 successes.
2 successes. Excellent. How many successes do I need? Does that mean that we get to put one into momentum?
It was a difficulty 1, so that's another point of momentum.
Ooh, sorry, I added 1 by accident.
No, I added 1.
I
don't think you added 1.
at the same time, and then I took 1 back.
Oh, okay, cool.
2 is right.
So, as you very, very carefully peer into its mind, you know that logical tick-tock you're expecting. It is there, and it's sort of reasserting itself, and then it's been blasted away by really strong emotions, memories, images of red trees, of hunts on some sort of creature's back, and songs and poetry.
I'm just gonna start saying it out, just like impressions. So red trees, hunter on a back, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I pulled out a recorder and am recording this.
And what you are recording is in a language which your translator is not translating yet. Universal Translation requires a certain amount of a language before it'll start translating.
So am I saying this in a language I don't know, even if I'm just trying to speak out the impressions? Ooh,
you are trying to speak... I'm guessing it's English. I have no idea what they speak in the Federation, but I'm assuming it's English.
Federation standard.
As a foreign language, even without the universal translator.
But it's not what you are speaking. What you are speaking is some strange language which you don't know.
Okay, my hands are still clenched though, so that's fine. Little creepier than I anticipated.
Your hands are still clenched, and then suddenly the sensations coming down to you become very extreme. The Vulcan starts thrashing, and you instinctively block it. It's just overwhelming.
Wow, that's too much. Is it going to let
And
me pull back out of this, or am
I am going to give you a temporary value, a complication of migraine.
What was that, sorry?
You've got a temporary value of migraine.
Ooh, ow, ow! Did not like that. I'm gonna come out of that. I'm gonna come out of that like, okay, I'm back. That's all right. So I described mostly what I was getting. I described mostly what I was getting as I was coming through, kind of like red trees and things. Did you get all that?
It's in a language none of us know and universal translators don't get. Could you translate it for us, please?
Oh, wow. That is wild.
Which explains why they've been speaking in tongues.
Yeah, I was sure I was speaking in English. That is wild. How do I even make some of those sounds? That is weird. Okay, so it was like... and Jim, can you just remind me if I get any of this slightly off? So it was like red trees and riding on something's back.
Yeah, it was sort of like a sort of armored hippo type thing. Huge armadillo type thing. It was round at the top and it had a shell.
It felt like a sense memory from someone. Just this kind of this montage.
You could have gotten it off of something in the room and it could have caused this partially.
Maybe. Like he's trying to fight back against it. Like he's deep into all of the mantras. Like he's trying to kind of establish control again and again. But it's too strong. He's not managed.
Trying to take over. You look like you're undiscovered. Do you need painkillers?
A little bit. That might be handy. What I'm really
kind of pain?
to do is there's a bit
The wordless handing over of pain medication.
There's a bit of me that wants to go in and try and do we have a copy of like the Vulcan like sutras or Vulcan texts?
I think I can pull that up. I think I might have a copy. I don't remember.
I'm just wondering if he's trying to if he is trying to reassert control by, because when you're in his head, it's small but it's there. He's repeating one of those Vulcan calming mantras over and over and over. I'm wondering what if I can come in and help.
I've used a few of them for within my own therapy when I was younger. Perhaps those might help. An outside influence repeating them and attempting to help calm him because I know Vulcans are touch telepaths, correct? I always forget if they're non-touch telepaths.
Yeah, Vulcans are telepaths by themselves. So
some are. They have to own it though.
Sounds like a good plan to me. I'm going to join.
Sort of project calm. That may help.
That's what Shran's doing, I think, before you start on that plan, because I can imagine the two sort of intersecting. So Shran is led by Francine Keller into the AOFW area, which is... It's actually a little obscure. You weren't expecting it. This is their facility. You were expecting it to be popular than everybody else's, but it's not. In fact, it might be sort of 3 times the size and have at least 5 times the number of people in it. And as she leaves you, she sort of engages in small talk to try and figure out why you're here. So, a medical emergency?
Huh? Sorry, what was that?
Yeah, as Francine leads you into this AOFW area, she tries to engage you in small talk. You get the feeling she's trying to figure out why you're here. So a medical emergency, you said?
Yes.
Oh. In the Federation contingent?
Yes.
Oh. Okay. Well, I guess that Teela's ailment may not be as severe, but let me introduce you to Teela. So she brings you through to one of the quarters, and she knocks on the door. When there's no answer, she opens the door, and there is a Bolian, blue Bolian, lying on the bed, covered in sweat.
How long has she been like this?
2 days, maybe. Yeah, about 2
Was
days.
it, how did it come on suddenly, or was it gradual?
It was over
Or
breakfast, to be quite honest. She started babbling while she was having breakfast.
and then kind of passed out?
No, not so much. She stabbed the table a few times with a knife, and we were a bit
That
concerned.
gets a raised eyebrow.
Pensibly sedated her, so I'm not quite sure what would have happened if they hadn't.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna break out my tricorder and my handy dandy space salt shaker, and figure out and see what the tricorder can tell me.
Oh.
So you open up Shran here.
This is going to be reason and medicine, I would have said.
Okay.
There is 2 momentum, so you could, if you want to, spend one of the momentum to buy an extra die. It's up to you.
I think I will.
Okay, in which case you change the number of dice from 2 to 3 when you roll.
Yep. All right. Let's see what happens. Wow. 1, 2, 5 successes.
Oh, nice.
Oh wait, actually 3 successes.
3 successes.
Sorry, my brain went. I don't think any of my focuses would apply here.
None of your focuses apply at all, but that's still a pretty good medical success. Unfortunately, it's a difficult roll. It was difficulty 2. You spent 1 momentum, and you've gained 1 momentum, so the momentum will end on 2 again, which is where it started. Okay, there's no sort of suggestion that there is a virus or any sort of infectious disease.
Mm-hmm.
What you are picking up is multiple memory engrams.
What's that?
There are
multiple minds in her brain right now, or parts of minds.
possibly not. It's just memories. You're picking up multiple sets of memories, her memories and somebody else's memories.
Yes, this is curious.
It sounds weirdly like what we're dealing with.
Scoot over.
She's
My
got 3
character-
successes. The other thing
Yeah.
you note is that, okay, it's only very minimal because you only took a recording over a couple of seconds, but the second set of memories are getting stronger.
At this point, my character.
You're not
Sorry.
there.
I was about to say, hey, can I talk, please? At some point after Rivera's done, Kennedy calms Sean, asking him if he's telling him what they've got, and asking if he's got any information on the other one.
Well, that thought. I was like,
Yeah.
this is. You might say, this is curious. It's almost as if there are multiple memory engrams in her head. And what seems to be the intruders are getting stronger.
No, Dr. Francine looks at you. Forgive me, I'm an archaeologist. Memory engrams?
Kind of like an echo, sets of memories.
Oh.
Yeah. Curious. What kind of archaeological work has she been doing lately?
It's been most of a week since she last went into the city. Let me check the logs. So she goes away and checks on her computer, comes back. Yeah, 5 days ago she was in the city. Since then they've been recording their findings.
Any particularly odd or intriguing artifacts located on that last dig? Or in the last few days?
Not that I am aware of. You got a fairly good roll on that science roll.
Yeah.
If you assume this is ramping up these additional sets of memories, they would have been at precisely 0 when she was in the city, and they've been ramping up since.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which would suggest that maybe the origin might have been when she was in the city.
Okay. At that point, Shran is going to pull out his communicator and say, "Excuse me for a moment." And he's going to call, the other language, and that was rude.
The other guy who's.
Yes, the rest of the party, and say, "Well, this is interesting. From what I can tell, it looks like she's got multiple memory engrams in her mind." And if I'm tracking the rate of increase correctly, this would have started about the last time she went out on a dig.
We'll check the doctor over here as well. He appears to be fighting back against the memory engrams over here. If we're having the same sets of conditions, we'll check where he was digging. Could you ask the nice lady to check where exactly in the city she was digging?
I've already got her checking the logs.
Good. We'll get the logs checked over here. See if they were in similar areas. That might give us a clue as to where this has started, if not why.
Checking the logs over there is going to be difficult because Dr. Nogrin left. He didn't want to be anywhere near the Vulcan. So you're not really sure who you would have.
Yeah, I turned to the engineering one. I turned to the room turned to the engineering room because I believe. Sorry, trying to remember character names. This is hard.
Mike.
Rendell's an engineer, I believe, right?
Yep.
I turned to Rendell and said, "Rendell, would you mind going and tracking down the doctor for me? And asking him to find when the doctor was last in the city and where he was digging, please? As well as any artifacts of a note he might have uncovered."
Did that put all the characters at the bottom to help you remember who they are?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Lincoln, take your face back. Here you go.
Yep, thank you. Remember,
Right.
do you want yours? Because I've still got the backpack with enough faces for all of us.
I don't think I'll need
I
it for
have a
now.
phaser.
Okay, let's just do a comms check before we go wandering off.
Your console?
Check our communication.
No. We have the handheld communicators.
Yeah.
But I push buttons and I go, testing, 1, 2, 3. Like I'm doing a radio.
Are you carrying on with that plan involving the Vulcan mantra?
I go in because, therapy, fun times. Yeah, so my character goes in, makes sure her shields are at their tightest, and walks in and starts repeating mantras. This is not hard. She pulls up a file on her thing
That
and
actually
just
makes you the first person to actually go in the room because Lincoln sat outside
I
the room
Rivera
and
with
telepathic
me
contact.
because I want the guy who can to a degree read minds and emotions with me.
Okay, I can come in with you.
As you approach that mind becomes much
From the door in, I'm
louder.
repeating fucking mantras.
Okay, I think this is going to require a telepathic roll from Lincoln, but I think there's going to be an assist of some description from Kennedy.
Okay. I'll be back in just a second.
So the way an assist works is you choose the appropriate stats and you roll 1 dice. And I would guess this is probably reason and medicine, probably.
So I'm going to hit reason and medicine.
No, I take that back. It's actually presence and medicine because it's a sense of personality, so it's presence and medicine.
Presence. Yeah, still a pretty good score for me. Perform task. Number of dice in the pool is 1, right?
That's right.
Oh, would this hit my focus of psychology?
Yes, it would. So you can choose. You can tick the focus box.
And I roll 1 die, right?
That's right. That looks
8.
like one success. Cool. Okay, Craig, you automatically have 1 success, and the difficulty is 2, so that's pretty good.
Okay.
You have been gifted a success.
Okie dokie. Is this presence or could this be daring? As I try and take the mantra that the chief nurse is repeating, and I'm just going to try.
I'm cycling through a variety as I do this.
Yeah,
if
I
you're
don't know any of those.
forcing it, if you're pushing it,
then
I'll go with daring.
Yeah, what I'm essentially trying to do is find where he, deep in the deep heart of his Vulcan mind, is trying desperately to rebuild this control. And I'm going to try and come in with that mantra and just try and buttress it, just try and help him out with that.
Yeah. I'm mentally broadcasting this aside from tightening up my shields. I'm mentally and verbally doing this.
Oh,
not over loud, but just enough that if he looks, he will find me. I'm acting as a lighthouse of sorts.
Daring and command, we believe.
Daring command. Okay.
It's a difficulty 3, but you already have 1 success.
Okay.
There are 2 momentum if you want to use them. You could even add a point of threat and buy 2 dice.
So just talk me through my options here. So I could spend a point of determination, and
you could spend a point of determination. I'm not sure that any of your values fit.
I'd go with full frontal leadership. Because I'm
hang on. I say I'm not sure any of your values fit. I think the mission parameters fit there, which will allow you to do it. Because the mission parameters were to help the Vulcan. And this does seem to fit that.
So I could spend a point of determination. And do I get a point of determination back at the end of... Do I get 1 point of determination every session?
You get a point of determination every session, or you get a point of determination if you challenge one of your values, if you act against it, or if you're forced to act in a strange way because of one of your values.
Okay. So, yeah. So, daring command. Do any of my... I don't think any of my focuses would fit for this.
No.
No, close protection isn't really worth it because he's not the person that I'm protecting. So no focuses, but I could spend a point of momentum. How do I buy extra dice?
Okay, 1 dice extra costs 1 momentum. Your second extra dice costs 2 momentum, and your third extra dice costs 3 momentum. However, if you don't have enough momentum, you can actually add to the threat instead. So you could spend 1 momentum to buy 1 dice, and then spend 1 momentum and 1 threat to buy the second dice.
I'm going to buy a dice, but I'm only going to buy 1 dice, so I've ticked momentum down 1.
Okay, so you're now rolling 3 dice, and are you spending your determination?
Yes, I am going to spend my determination using full frontal leadership.
Okay, cool. So you spent your determination. Your determination is now down to 0.
Yeah. And then we roll that. So that is 4 successes.
But you should have had 3 dice. Why have you got 4 dice?
1 was an automatic success.
Well, the automatic success is the determination die. That's weird.
That would be 2 dice on top of your automatic.
I'm going to ignore the first die. So you actually got 3 successes.
Okay,
you-
successes.
which gives you 1 point of momentum and a success.
Yeah, so I'm just taking that mantra and finding him in the core of his personality, and then just feeding that mantra back to him, trying to create like this feedback loop that he can hide inside.
His breathing slowly calms, and he stops ranting, and the bombardment on your mental shields sort of calms a bit, and it's not quite as brutalizing, and then slowly it becomes sort of gentle rest. You're fairly sure you haven't solved things, but you've definitely given him some peace for a little while.
Okay, that's probably going to be the best I can do for the moment.
You're kind of conscious that his mind is in the right place at the moment. If you were to wake him up,
If you can wake him, he's probably able to talk to you now, but this won't last terribly long.
I gently touch him and tell him, ask him to wake up, being as gentle as I can, because he's, not a kid.
Well, those fellas, there's a hyperspray for that, I'm sure.
it is going to require some sort of drug to bring him round. Adrenaline or something like that.
I pop him with the something. I'm not using the exact chemical because
Yeah. A stimulant.
I pop him with a stimulant, probably like, I don't know, some sort of weird modification of caffeine or something.
Caffeine and adrenaline.
His eyes blink open, literally from sleep. It's suddenly sort of he sits up. There's a shocked look on his face.
Calm down. You're all right. You're in the science facility. I am Kennedy Bianchi. I am the head nurse of the USS Odysseus. We are here to help.
He grabs your arm with Vulcan strength. You're going to take 2 stress just because he grabs you that tightly. And you can hear him saying his mantra, sitting there, and slowly his arm starts to loosen on your hand. Sorry, his hand starts to loosen on your arm.
I'm trying to feel this.
No, I think you've
taken 7 stress there. You only want to take 2.
Yeah, no, just... Okay, that way.
Where am I?
You're in the research facility. I repeat his name. I tell him. I repeat that I repeat the fact that I am Lieutenant Commander Kennedy Bianchi of the USS Odysseus, and this is Lieutenant Junior Grade.
Just refer to you. Just say
Lieutenant Rivera. We are here to help. Also, please let go of my arm. You are hurting me.
Just stop the accent.
Solveig. I'm Dr. Solveig.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Solveig. I need to keep reinforcing that. There is something else.
Lieutenant Rivera, can you keep doing your best to shut him up? I know this won't last. This mental clarity won't last forever, but we need to keep it going as long as we can, so we can get as much information as possible.
Listening.
Record this. I'm not sure how long I will be.
The recorder is pulled out.
On our last trip, we visited level 16. The keys from level 14 worked, and we were able to open some of the doors. We found an archive. We accessed the archive together because the Orions didn't want anybody having advantage, so it was agreed we would all access the archive together.
Do you know who else was with you at the time when you accessed? Because they may be in danger of experiencing what you were as well.
There were a team of 5 of us, 1 for each contingent. There was
Which
myself.
Klingon accessed it?
Sorry?
Which Klingon?
Colthus. It was Colthus. There was Tala from the air. The AOFW. There was a Romulan. He was new. I don't remember his name. Blue eyes, brown hair. I don't remember his name. And an Orion. Orion man. But I don't remember his name either.
Thank you. This is information. We can look at
We're
who
gonna
is.
keep looking.
Sorry.
There was
On the expedition as well.
there was a round chamber to access the archive, but I don't remember anything beyond that. The gems we found on level 14 are a key to the doors on level 16. I remember poetry. There was a song.
No, you don't.
And he starts humming the tune that was in that memory that you.
No. He's. Can we sedate him?
Yes, you can definitely sedate him.
He doesn't. Is he slipping back yet?
Yeah. He's slipping.
Okay. The sedation hypo she didn't use on Rivera is stabbing to his neck, and he's laid back down.
Yeah.
And then she promptly pulls out her communicator because this is going to affect lots of people. And I think this is at the point where, yes, we need to check for who else was on that expedition, because they are in danger now.
He's given you some names. You know that there was a Klingon called Colthus. You know that there was a Bolian called Tala. There were two others he doesn't remember the name of, but you know that one of them was Romulan and one of them was Orion.
Yeah, okay.
To call Shran. What the name of the woman you're treating wouldn't have to be Tala, would it?
It actually is.
She accessed an archive with the doctor. That's probably what happened. Something's trying to override the memories. Possibly memories from the archive, is my guess. We need to find the Romulan and Orion. I'll call the. Do you want to make the call to the Klingons, or do you want me to do it, or I can?
I think Lieutenant Rivera might be the one to make that call.
She needs a Lieutenant Rivera. Can you call the?
No.
We're not calling the Klingons. We're going to the Klingons.
Yes, you're going to the Klingons, probably with a phaser in your hand.
Rivera, you're my backup.
No, you're Rivera's backup.
I'm Rivera's backup, evidently.
You could head to the Romulans or the Orions if you wanted to, and then I could grab someone else.
Yeah.
Shran, would you do me a favor and meet up with Rivera?
Yes.
I'll just try and remember you in the purple shirt.
What am I doing?
I cannot remember your name at the moment.
Yeah, I'll meet. Tell me where to meet you, Rivera. I'm on my way.
Well, are you okay with the person you're treating at the moment, though?
Right now, she's stable. Right now, she's stable till I figure out what's going on inside her. Till I have a chance to analyze till I have a better idea of what's going on inside her head. I really don't want to do much poking around, especially with just a blasted tricorder in my hand.
Yeah.
Mike, Lieutenant Rendell, what are you up to?
Well, I think I was looking for, who was it? The one that was escorting Shran to the other patient. I was looking for her to go get the file directory of who was of who.
Okay. From the directory, you discover that there were 5 archaeologists. I'll do my very best to put them on screen. There was. Have they appeared?
Yep.
So there was Kolthas, who was a Klingon from the Klingon Empire. Malik Trivot from the Orion contingent. Tala that you know about. Dr. Solvek that you know about. And a Romulan called Jorel Travin.
Okay.
You probably also know that Dr. Solveck's speciality was alien linguistics. Jorel's speciality was alien cultures and symbolism. Solveck's speciality was weaponizing artifacts. Okay, yeah.
Weaponizing artifacts.
Jesus.
He was the Klingon, right?
No, I think that was the Romulan.
Damn it.
Malek had a reputation of being something of a tomb raider. Was good at trap disarming and analyzing artifacts for value. And Tila was the specialized in ancient art and archaeological interpretation and sketching.
So we've got Dr. Solveck is currently sedated. Who's the other one that we've got that we had eyes on?
Taylor.
So Taylor. And Felev, do you want to sedate Tala maybe? I'm just trying to keep the number of threats that we have at the moment down to a manageable
She's
level.
already sedated, I think.
She's already she's already under sedation. I don't want to give her too much more.
Could you ask someone to keep her under watch? I know I don't think
yes.
Bolivians telepaths like Vulcans, but maybe somebody who keeps an eye on her, even if it's only through a camera. We need to keep an eye on her in case she starts thrashing or something and she needs to be sedated again.
Okay. Yeah, no.
So the
before I leave.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll ask. Before I head out to meet up with Rivera, I'll ask somebody to keep an eye on her where I'm investigating.
So I think our threats for the other three, I think the most dangerous one is going to be the Klingon, then the Orion.
Wasn't he walking around with a friggin' rifle?
No, the after something happened with the Klingons, a Klingon commander arrived at E7 yesterday, and the commander was walking around with a rifle.
Oh, he's going to be peachy keen to see us.
She is going to be peachy keen to see you.
Oh, I stand corrected.
I suppose at this point Rendell's back with the information.
Yes. You've got the information.
Rendell with me. We're going to pay a visit to the Romulans. And then,
I feel we should all go as a team.
What'd you say?
I feel like we should all go as a team. Safety in numbers.
The Romulans?
As a crew.
I'd prefer we resolve the Klingon first. Like if the Klingons all start going paranoid and they start spreading.
Yeah, actually, no. Actually, I have a better idea. Safety in numbers. We'll all meet you at the Klingon area, and then we'll go to the Orions and the Romulans after that.
Okay.
So I guess we all walk over to the Romulan area, meet up.
Klingon,
wrong one. Sorry.
The Klingon compound, the door is locked. There is a Klingon guard outside it.
Now is the point where as we walk over, now is the point where I am handing out phasers. I am making sure that they are all set to stun, and I am looking out for trigger discipline. Anyone who doesn't have good trigger discipline is having it taken off them until they get good trigger discipline.
Aye, sir.
Because the people in Star Trek have terrible trigger discipline, and it annoys me.
Let's see. Who wants to go talk to the Klingon guard and attempt to get us in? Nobody else?
I can walk forward. I have good negotiation skills. I'll see what I can do. I take the phaser, and I'll just pop it in my pocket. I've really no need for this, but if people want me to have one, I will gladly have one.
Well, there is a single Klingon warrior stood outside the door. He has a small blade, not a batleth, just a knife at his belt, and no signs of other weapons.
I'm following close behind Dr. Roberts in case he needs a secondary presence to hopefully impress on the emergency and the big problem.
We are not taking visitors. There is a ceremony in process.
Oh, that's fine.
This
We're
is not a
we're not
visitor
visiting.
situation.
We actually want to participate in the ceremony, if you would allow us.
That sounds like an attempt to persuade him of some description. Do you want to make a presence roll? Probably presence command.
Presence and command. Right, I have never
You
rolled
can
on
persuade me
this.
of something else if you want to.
No, absolutely fine.
There is 2 momentum if you want to use it.
What's
That might
So
be the
we're
time
lying
to
our
use
way
it.
in. How are we supposed to get the Klingon quarantined?
First we get
I'm
the
following
door.
the plan, I think.
How many momentum is there? 2.
There's 2.
2.
1 momentum will buy you an extra dice. You'll be rolling 3 dice instead of 2.
Yeah, let's buy 1. I've not done this
It's
before.
a difficulty 1 to persuade this guy.
Okay.
And I'm going to have a quick look at your character. I don't think winter sports will help, or cybernetics, but you do have negotiation as a focus, so you
Yes.
definitely can use your negotiation focus.
How do I do that?
In fact, this is the perfect plan for using winter sports if you ever need to.
Oh my god, the winter
Oh
plan.
yeah, I'm going to go outside. Red snow and all that. First time I've seen it. So what do I've never worked these sheets.
Okay, so you tick
presence and command.
presence and command. You then click on perform task.
Perform task. Okey-dokey.
One of your focuses works, so you'll tick that.
Yep.
And you've bought an extra dice. You change the number of dice from 2 to 3,
Number of
and
dice.
you spent a momentum. And then you click roll dice.
Oh, that's nice. Easy. Oh no, there were 20. Oh, a complication.
You
One success.
succeeded. He is going to definitely let you in.
The complication has got to be around this ceremony, hasn't it? This is going to be like some Klingon as hell combat ceremony or something that we've now volunteered for.
I think crap that's all, guys.
I can just see that. It's like, so you want me to fight with that thing?
Yeah.
Here. This is a knife.
He looks at you. You can come in. And the warrior with the blade. You've no idea how he spotted your blade, but he spotted your the Andorian with the pig.
It's innocent as a.
As a small child.
He is attempting to look innocent.
If ever does like an instant double take, like you what?
We respect warriors.
I am a doctor, not a
You carry
warrior.
blade, you are a warrior.
Well, yes, I have a blade.
I have a blade as well, so I reach into my pocket and show him my my little scalpel pack.
That's not what he's talking about.
It's a blade.
There is an unhelpful pulling out of a scalpel from Kennedy as well.
Any warrior with a blade may join the ceremony.
He pulls out Bioshunt. And Rivera's. What's Rivera's reaction to this?
Rivera is like, wait, hang on. I spent so much time controlling all of like the possible things that could go wrong, and all this time you had a blade like stuffed up the back of your shirt. Like,
My shirt.
Meaning
I
you might need a
don't
blade.
Well, he says, we'll talk about this later. You are being culturally insensitive, by the way. He is lecturing
in the shuttle. Like,
and he puts it back where he had it. Says, "Lead on."
Yeah, and I'll open the door, and I'll go past the our lovely
Okay.
friend.
He is trying to block the rest of you, so he's just trying to let those 2 through. I'm guessing order-wise,
Squeeze.
Rivera's going to be fairly near the front, and Kennedy's going to be fairly near the front as this guy tries to let Robertson and Schramm.
I'm just gonna slightly barge front, like bodyguard. I go where he goes.
A warrior needs no
Go
bodyguard.
around because I am used to avoiding flailing limbs.
If he says warrior needs no bodyguard, I'm going to be like cultural differences and still try and go past.
No.
Oh, that sounds like a persuasion roll, doesn't it?
Come.
I don't know. It doesn't. It's daring. Straight off, it is daring.
Put it in daring security. I'm trying to push past it.
Yeah, I will go with that. That is daring security, but it could irritate him. I think on this one, your complication range is at least 2.
Okay. Could I take my focus of close protection because I am attempting to protect? I'm saying that I'm a bodyguard.
Yes, you can. However, I'm also going to roll for him to set the difficulty.
Okay.
So you will need to beat his. He's got a control of 7, typical. Right, you need to beat his difficulty, which is 0 successes.
More than 0
success.
Incredible.
So all you need is 1.
This guard's having a bad day today. Like, let's not be too harsh on him.
It wasn't
Tried his best.
Yeah, well, my character needs to roll because all she's doing is ducking
Oh
and
my
going.
god.
Okay, you slip past before he's able to react. He is too stunned to realise what's going on, and you have gained 3 momentum.
Oh, nice.
Also, with that roll, you probably push. Sorry?
Could I use some of those momentum to try and get other people past with me?
Yes, you can spend 2 of them, and I need a trait that you've just applied to the scene that would explain it, or to him.
Confused,
confused, overwhelmed.
Yeah. Could he just
Yes. Let's go with bamboozled.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll do. God, now it's bamboozled.
The tricksy Federation people talk too much, and they've just managed to like.
I mean, my character would have been
Just like
nonplussed
push them out
because
of the way.
Yeah. Just like we go as a group, we're the Federation. That's how this works.
buddy system.
Okay, so you can hear chanting from deep inside the Klingon enclave, and singing. There is Klingon chanting and singing that sounds very familiar to, well, it sounds slightly familiar to all of you and very familiar to Lieutenant Rivera, who heard it in somebody's mind.
That's not good. That they've already. That singing is from the telepathic signal. Like they're already under the influence of this thing.
Well, either that or could also have come from the Klingon's mind somehow. I don't know.
Ooh. Was it the Klingons' fault all along? I like that idea.
I didn't say it was his fault. I said that bit may have come from his mind. Precision, Rivera, precision.
It's normally the Klingons'
You
fault.
think it might have spread already?
Don't use a buzzsaw when a scalpel will do.
Yeah, I'm concerned it might have spread already.
It looks like they are meeting up in the main meeting of the Klingon area, which is a circular area. At least if it's the same as the other areas you've seen, like the Federation one and the AOF one. It's a circular area with rooms off it, which in the Federation one was the cafeteria.
If they're singing, what if we try and join in?
Now let's assess the situation first.
Does anybody
So
have any
what's
folk
going
like to
on?
do with like Klingon culture or anything like that? Probably.
No.
I don't think psychology helps.
No.
Nope. Okay. They're chanting something in Klingon.
No.
You carrying on, or?
How far into the actual room are they, or how far away are we now from them?
You're probably a couple of doors from them at this point. Not very far, but there are a couple of intervening doors.
Yeah.
Can we see
So
them?
no.
No, but you will when you're one door away, because all these doors have got glass window type things.
Should we try to peek?
Sorry, I didn't catch that, Nick.
Should we try to peek?
Yeah, of course you can. When you sort of peek through, there are the 5 of the 6 Klingons who are here on site, plus various Klingons who have beamed down from the Klingon ship. The Klingon commander from the ship is there. And with large disruptor rifle over her shoulders. The Klingon archaeologist is in the center of a large circle holding a bat'leth. And it looks like these Klingons are taking it in turn to enter the circle and try and fend off this archaeologist with bat'leth. He's singing the songs that you heard in your mind. But
Okay, so do we still have the bamboozled guard with us?
No, you sneaked past him. You pushed him aside.
So I tap I tap one of the Klingons who is just kind of watching on the shoulder and say, and point at the guy in the middle and say, "What's his name?"
Human, you are in the presence of one
Excuse me! Did he just call me human?
He did call you human.
He called me human. He called me human.
Done it now.
This is
like-
truly.
Are you blind as well as a fool?
Federation, you are in the presence of one who is blessed.
Blessed.
Ah, you carry a blade. Do you wish to face
Yes.
the blessed one?
Are you really good with that thing?
So, as soon as I know the name of the one I would face, I would be willing.
Right, he is. Colthas, he returned from the mines, from the city. He is blessed. He has the strength of 20 and the skills of a true warrior.
Just before you step up to face him, Lincoln is just going to gently grab your shoulder and be like, "Are you actually any good with that thing? Now is the time to tell me."
Yes.
Okay. Good man, have at it then.
Colthas, by the way, I'll show you Colthas. Colthas is frothing at the mouth. He is chanting the same songs that the others did, but this seems to have affected him differently. So that's what Colthas looks like.
Yeah, he's gone off his rocker. Okay, so what I am trying to do is kind of, I'm trying to cold cock his ass to render him unconscious, basically by bouncing his head off.
Are you stepping into the ring?
Yes, I have a loaded weapon. I'm trying. Yeah, sure. I don't think I have much else of an option.
Okay, I will roll for him to set the difficulty.
Set a pipe
Huh?
in case of emergencies.
Less talking. Sorry. What was that?
I'll roll for him to set the difficulty then.
Okay.
He has a focus of battleless fighting. And I'm going to spend 3 of this threat to buy him a couple of dice. So the difficulty.
Oh.
Difficulty of
What?
Difficulty of 3.
Yep.
Oh boy. I'm gonna need to buy a couple of dice here. How much do we have in?
I've only got one.
You've got 2 momentum. 1 momentum will buy an extra die, but it would require 3 momentum to buy 2 extra die.
Can I?
Yeah.
Sorry,
Um.
Craig, were you trying to assist in some way?
Could I try and assist by? I'm mostly receptive rather than good at transmitting. But could I transmit with my telepathy, like if I know any limited Klingon? Do I know like the words for stand at ease, attention, drop?
Yes, you do, because you've heard them. You've heard drill sergeants.
Because I would like to try as loudly as I can to send drill commands into his head.
Okay, this is an assist. It's
try
1
and-
dice, and the complication range is 3. You are entering the mind of a of a frenzying Klingon.
Cool. How do I do that? What button do I press just to roll the 1 dice?
You just change the number of dice from 2 to 1.
Okay, so it's daring security, I presume. Form task down to 1.
Do you have anything to do? Small unit tactics might fit for.
Oh yes, because it's all the commands of like drill stuff.
It is indeed.
Would-
So you
wouldn't
can use
it
a
be
focus.
Wouldn't it be more of a command discipline rather than security? Because you're commanding them.
Oh yes, I suppose it is.
Yes, it
Security
would be.
command.
Yeah, so it's daring command, but
Daring
you can
command.
use your small unit tactics focus.
Yeah. Focus of shoot small unit tactics down to 1 dice. Let's see how well that does.
Oh,
That's 1 success, which you are passing on to Hollis for his role.
Yep. And okay, so instead of buying dice with momentum, I'm gonna actually buy a couple of dice with threat.
Okay. Do you want to mix it? Do you want to use
Because
1
I'm a-
momentum and 2 threat, or?
Yeah, we'll do that 1 and 2. Yeah, 1 and 2, because if it's the Andorian thing, intense.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
What does intense do? Let me have a quick look.
if I buy dice with threat and I succeed, we get momentum equal to the number of dice I bought with threat.
Oh, in that case, just buy all of them with threat. Cool. So
Yes,
you bought 2 dice with threat. Unless you want to buy 3
and
dice.
I also there's crap. Oh crap! I can't remember what the Ushan Tour does something when I'm. Do you have the book downloaded on the laptop? Give me a second. I'm gonna go. I can't remember the Ushan Tour talent does something else too, but I can't.
It'd just be a case of clicking on the little badge to the left of it on your character sheet, and it should bring it up in the chat.
Okay.
So there should be a badge to the left of it, and if you click on that, it should paste the details into chat. There we go. Your experience and tradition of honorable dueling. When you make an attack or a target by a melee attack, which you are, and by one or
Yeah. So that lets me re-roll dice in case I muff some dice. So how many dice? How lucky do we feel?
well, you buy at least 2. You can buy a 3rd one, which would be another 3 threat.
Yeah, I don't think we want to give him that much threat though. Beat
Yeah.
down, kiddo.
So that would be extra 2 dice. You'd be rolling 4 dice.
Yep. And I already have 1 success from the assist.
And you have a focus on
So
blade weapons, so your focus fits.
Go for it, Phalev. Kick his ass.
You need 2 successes here.
Knock him out.
okay.
Ooh, that looks good.
Ooh, that looks good. That looks
4
really-
successes. Right. You can re-roll any number of dice.
I failed on what, 2 of those dice?
You failed on 2 of those dice. Do you want to re-roll? Click on re-roll results. Does that re-roll them all?
Oh,
Does it
where's
re-roll-
where's the windows blasted
chat.
closed? Where the chat does not want to open for me.
Ah.
I'll click on re-roll for you and see what happens.
Page.
So you'd re-roll 2 dice.
Oh, there it is.
I re-rolled
That
for you.
gets me 2 more successes.
So that's 6 successes.
6 plus the 1 that he got from the 6.
Right. What was it that gave you threat? Oh, what was it that gave you things when you spent threat? You're going to succeed dramatically here.
Yep.
In fact, you're going to add. You're going to bring momentum pool to max, which is 6. But also, you had something which happened when you spent with threat.
Yeah.
What was it? Oh right, okay, cool.
Yeah, you bought dice with the attack with his defense. That's how you spend threat, and I just gave you that many back.
Okay, cool. Right, what does this look like? Because you have just this Klingon who is clearly really skilled with the backlash, tries to take your head off, and what does it look like as you easily overcome him?
So basically, this rampaging, raging Klingon, he has no focus. He is all bark and no bite. Shran just kind of, weaves, steps to one side, steps to the other, hooks the guy's leg with a foot and sends him to the floor hard. And he starts to rise, and then with a groan, goes back down.
There is absolute stunned silence. And then one of the Klingons turns to... I think he turns to Mike, who has stood to his side. Starfleet? Put down the blessed one? That's not possible.
Which Kennedy says he's not blessed, simply addled in the mind. We believe it has
Perspective, Bianchi.
He is blessed with the strength of 10 men.
Like cursed. The mind that's stable.
There is
value stable mind.
One of the Klingons actually the Klingon leader, the woman with the red hair, walks forward and bows to Shran. You are truly a great warrior.
Shran will nod and then, bend to check and make sure the guy's still breathing.
He is still breathing, yes.
Huh? Yeah, no. Says, apologies. I am first and foremost a healer. I would not see this warrior die. I would not see such an honorable warrior like this die needlessly.
All of us have been blessed with the spirit of one of his ancestors. He sings songs that we no longer remember. Blessed, truly blessed. And a little bit quieter, and she says to you, and I think his mind is a little addled too, but
may I examine him?
Suggesting he is addled would be dishonorable. Keep your words quiet.
Let's get him somewhere. Shran drops his voice. Let's get him somewhere else, and I will examine him. Certainly he is within his rights to recover before facing another.
Kennedy walks over and it says, "You want me to haul him somewhere?"
No. I will ask some of the warriors to lift him.
Fair, he's probably heavy.
And a couple of Klingon warriors from the ship, from the D7, lift him up and ask where you would like him placed.
Okay. as soon as we've got him out of sight of the, as soon as we've got him wherever they're taking him, I will pull out my salt shaker and my tricorder and see what I can find out.
Do we want to leave Dr. Roberts and Nurse Bianchi doing the medical stuff? And then us non-medics could run over and try and grab the other one? Maybe either the Orion or the...
No, we stick together. Pack tactics.
Yeah.
All pack tactics.
Cool.
I'm worried that's a talent, but right now what we need is safety number. We're outnumbered. Take
it down, kiddo. Okay. Can we turn down the wind noise?
Oh,
You can
yes,
do it
I
yourself.
definitely can.
Oh, wait, that's not outside. Oh, that's the computer. Sorry.
Ambient
You
wind.
thought that was outside.
Did that turn the ambient wind noise down a bit?
Yeah.
Well, it's
You can
supposed to be
turn
really
it
bad weather.
That's gone.
Oh, I turned it down to 3. I've no idea what. Okay.
Okay, but yeah, as soon as we've got him somewhere private, I take it the Klingon commander is not leaving us alone with this man?
No, she's not.
Okay. Well, as soon as we've got him where he is, alone, or at least it's us, her, and him, I'm going to start examining him. I'm looking for basically what I saw with the Bolian woman.
I'm checking his vitals. Because while
Okay,
I may not
skilled
know
roll.
much,
Okay.
It's going to have 2 difficulties. There's a difficulty 0 to get basic information, and there is a difficulty 2 to get something a little bit more obscure. So you can make the roll. If you get 0, you'll get the basic information. If you get a 2 or more, you'll get the extra information.
Okay, so that's reason and medicine.
You may as well spend momentum because you've already got max momentum, so you may as well spend at least a point of it.
Do we want to spend like a point, 1 dice or 2, guys?
How many? Up to 6, 7 or 6 momentum.
Yeah, that's the cap.
Yeah.
Okay, we might as well just spend then.
You just spend. Yeah.
I think
How much are you spending? It'll be 1 momentum for an extra dice, 3 momentum for 2 dice, and 6 momentum for 3 extra dice.
I don't want to spend all of it right now, but
If you spend 3 of it, that will give you 2 extra dice.
That's hard.
yeah, and especially if there's. Okay, so all right.
Unfortunately, the virology does not help here.
Oh, that good low
These-
roll, though.
Oh wow,
4
successes.
Right, 2
No,
successes.
4 successes.
2 successes gets you what you need, and the other 2 give you momentum.
I'm a momentum machine.
Okay. You spot what you expect. He has the same memory. He doesn't have the same memory engrams. He's got a different memory engram that is overpowering him slowly. Similar situation to the person you looked at before, but this memory engram is different. It's a different set of memories.
Do we need
Okay.
and see what that is, or are we just happy that these are different? Like, I could understand this maybe being an archive or something that's putting memories into their head, in which case it makes sense if they're all different.
I turned to Sean and muttered, I think the archive is an archive of people's memories.
Either that or it's shuffling them about with the people that were there.
Yeah, it could be that. I just assumed that the Red Forest was the same as like the Red Rain, but yeah, it could
Red
be.
Forest. Does that mean anything to you? I'm talking to the Klingon commander. A red forest. Is that anything from the Klingon homeworld or?
No, it means nothing to us.
It may be something from when before this world was covered in ice.
Could be. I don't know.
Unfortunately, none of us are interfering with the time-space continuum right now.
Just be quiet.
If we want me to go inside, I can try. But if that goes wrong, it could go really wrong.
No, I think I haven't scanned. I haven't scanned the other one, but I think this is similar, but different.
Mm.
Different engrams, same problem.
So it's dumping different memory engrams onto them. But from a similar place.
Yeah.
I turn to the Klingon commander. Until we can solve this problem, it would be best for you to do your best to isolate him, please. Until we can solve the problem and return him to normal.
Isolate him.
Yes. You can find
I'll
a room
be
if
honest.
you.
He is weak because he has allowed his memories to be overwritten by something strange. And the other warriors team is blessed and something that they can fight. I don't see a problem with the weak being cold. So, no, I'm not going to isolate him.
I think you misunderstand. You need to isolate him, or else we will not be able to fix him. This is not weakness.
This is
on
not
his part.
No, this is cultural, I think. Yes?
Yeah, you're fairly sure this is cultural.
Oh, yeah. Letting himself, to the Klingons, letting himself be overcome by this is a weakness.
I don't think he
And a blessing.
And a blessing. If it becomes possible, if he still lives and we learn how to cure him, would that be a blessing or a curse by Klingon standards? I'm not familiar enough to know.
It would be a weak individual has been blessed with the soul of someone strong. The weak one could be cold. The strong one could have an honourable death in combat. To return the weakling, that would be despicable. No, we will not stand by for that.
What if
have a chance to die in combat?
What if the weak one manages to defeat the strong one? Throw him out of his mind.
She looks at you as if you're strange. The weak do not defeat the strong.
You never know. The weak can surprise the strong.
As affected as he was, we were able to at least temporarily return him control of his own mind.
And it is foolishness to think that there is only one form of strength.
Fine, but if he stays here, he will fight. Sorry?
Have the Federation ever won a war against the Klingons at this point? Or battles or things?
Yes, they won the 4-year war, which started at Kolinar.
Cool.
But,
so
that wasn't so much a victory. It was more a sort of war of attrition where both sides wanted to give up because they didn't have any armies left. You know, it's a nominal victory.
We can't defeat the strong. Well, surely the weak Federation did that in the 4 Years' War. The weak become stronger, and then they defeat the strong.
Centuries ago, our ancestors underestimated the Federation.
We are
you're underestimating him right now. You could be underestimating the weak one.
Take him. If he stays here, he will fight.
Okay. Let's get him back to the shuttle then.
Can we contain Angry Klingon? We have to meet. He's going to have to be hella.
We'd have to yeah. Let's get him.
A sedative hypo into his neck.
Don't let her see you doing that.
As we're moving him, I shove a hypo.
Let's keep it really quiet that we restrained a Klingon, because otherwise.
How are you getting him back to the shuttle? I mean, the obvious way of getting him back to the shuttle is just to beam him from here to the shuttle.
Yeah, that's probably the best.
Yeah.
less commotion.
And then, restraints and sedatives ahoy.
As you are leaving the Klingon enclosure, there is a Romulan woman and a Orion gentleman waiting for you.
Your business?
I'll very quickly just show you her. Sorry, not a Romulan woman, a Romulan man. Hang on, I've got the wrong picture. Should be the one. Leaders. Oh, no, that is a leader. My apologies. So it is a Romulan man. Let me introduce myself. I am Sub Commander Train. Little goes on here that we're not fully aware of. We know that your little group has been traveling from contingent to contingent. We also know that you are the best medics on site. I offer my assistance, and I have persuaded, with a little bit of
bribery,
inspiration,
persuasion,
Laura here to assist as well.
Can I use one of my talents? I have the talent Open Book.
What's it do?
How do I post? Is there a button I can press to post it to the?
Yes, the little badge to the left of it.
Open Book. Because I'm a telepath, when a character enters a scene, I can spend 1 momentum to immediately ask the game master one question about that character's current emotions or surface thoughts.
Can I drop momentum by 1?
Is he lying? Is he being really tricksy?
He's understating the facts. Little goes on that they don't know about. That will be because they've got the entire place booked at their Romulans.
But he's not like, these fools are falling for it.
No, he's very much we need to get this thing sorted out. I'm going to assist. He probably doesn't want you to know that they have bugged the entire base. They know what's going on in every other contingent space.
I'm going to make eye contact with Dr. Roberts and just give you a nod, just to kind of say that this guy's on the up and up.
Okay.
You do realise you are far better than Deanna Troy, who would have just said, I sense strong emotions from him or something.
Surely the thing with Diana Troy is that, because I've thought about this, I think the thing about Diana Troy is her range. I don't think I would be able to do starship to starship stuff.
Oh, that's true, yes.
Like, I think I'm like, I can maybe talk to someone at the other end of a ship, but like, she seems to be able to be like, oh yes, this person 3 star systems away is slightly perturbed.
Yeah.
The galaxy senses.
Yeah. I think the interesting thing about her is her range, and like her precision. Whereas I'm smaller but more precise.
All right.
Don't forget, she was only half Betazoid.
There's that. In your full blood.
Yeah, so
we offer our assistance.
I give you guys
we do?
He's on the up and up.
We need to speak with the Romulan and Orion delegations for the 2 others who discovered the archive, which is what we believe is causing the incident.
They are available to you. You may see them.
Are they? What is their current status, if I may ask?
At the moment, they are both sedated.
Ah.
They're showing similar symptoms to the other contingents. Of course, neither the AOFW or the Klingons would admit that they had ill people.
Similar symptoms? Be specific, please.
They are both seeing visions. They are both reliving things that they did not experience themselves. They are both having strange dreams.
Speaking in tongues?
Yes.
All right. Let's take a look at them just for double check, but I think I can guess what we are going to see.
And then I think it may be best if we head down to the archive they found, if we can find it, if the records show where they found it. They said level 6, the doctor said it was level 16. Right.
Hmm.
He also
Yes.
said that the crystal they found, which was in the
Crystal?
recovered artifacts,
Mm.
was a key. The crystal they found on level 14 served as a key on level 16.
Counter
I
suggestion:
think
rather than us going down, we get the Oddity to target it with a torpedo.
that's not going to give us the answer.
That might solve
Is
the
it?
problem, though, without me putting people at risk.
Yes, but then we have 5 people who are going to die. Or at least be permanently mad.
It could be that once the signal turns off, this effect stops.
Well,
Oh, it could be that when the signal stops, it gets worse.
Yeah. I'm just a fan of direct solutions that don't involve putting personnel in danger.
Sorry.
Sometimes we don't have that choice.
That is true. All right. So yeah, scan them. I guess scan the one of the other two. I guess.
Very similar to what you'd expect have seen. In each case, the memories are different. The engrams are different.
Okay, that's what I figured. Okay, so pull the logs. What does the logs say? Tell us about this thing.
Okay, they took a shuttle to the research station is about 2 miles from the city, the buried city. So they took a shuttle to the buried city. They entered one of the old decaying buildings. It's sort of crystalline structure jutting out from the red sand. And in that building, they took a lift down to level 16. They have reactivated they basically got a generator. They managed to reactivate the old preserver lift, and they took a lift down to level 16. After that, the logs don't record a lot. It's almost as if they didn't bother recording what they did on level 16.
That's less than helpful.
We still got something. What beat?
Oh, that was my watch. Does that mean that it hit them as soon as they arrived at level 16 then? They were recording up to that point. Is that when this thing kicks in?
You don't think so, because the Vulcan described doing quite a lot of stuff on level 16.
It's just record keeping.
It's just
They
that when
didn't get a
came
chance
back,
to put the.
it wasn't their priority to record what they did.
Yeah, I suppose they do the paperwork later.
They hadn't gotten around to the paperwork yet.
Oh, I know that feeling.
So, you could take the shuttle over to the old preserver city if you wanted to.
Make sure that my understanding's right. So that now that they're sedated, are they broadcasting enough to set other people off? Or now we've got all 5 of them.
The only one who was broadcasting anything was the Vulcan, and that's because he was telepathic.
Yeah.
The rest are just experiencing weird things.
So this is now contained.
Yeah,
We're just trying to. We're just
I'm not
trying
sure
to.
where they are, because you've got one of them in your shuttle, but you can't put all of them in your shuttle. It's not quite big enough for that.
No, I think we got the other two contained by their own respective communities.
Oh, actually, bear with me. Odysseus guide, shuttlecraft. 1 to 2 flight crew plus 6 medical staff. Yeah. You could put one of them in the recovery area and one of them in the operating suite. Yeah, you've only really got room for 2.
Yeah. We yeah, and we've already got the Klingon is the one we need to keep strapped down and I don't know if I want to put the Vulcan within telepathic range of of our pilot.
Yeah, that's good.
I think just the Klingon is fine.
We don't need the person who knows how to drive the bus flipping out.
No.
Actually, I could probably drive the bus. I think I have a ton of 2 or 3, so. But yeah. All right. Tally ho.
Yeah. Unless we've got anything else we want to do here in the outpost.
Nope. Okay. I'm going to assume that you use the elevator to get down to level 16, taking the key with you since you now know that the crystal is a key.
Don't.
No
Okay.
one touch anything.
I will phaser anyone I see touching anything.
Ooh.
Creepy.
You're right.
I'm just very quickly. Is that sound too loud?
That's okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
If we're transitioning scenes, could we maybe take a quick 5-minute break?
That's precisely what I was about to suggest.
Oh, fantastic.
So let me just see, does this work?
Ooh.
And that down.
Cool. Just click leave when you've left and click I'm back when you're back.
Cool.
Great.
Hi, it's Declan again. Whilst the players are on break, I thought this would be a great time to acknowledge some of the talented creators and contributors who made this episode possible. Let's start with the music. First, a huge thank to Jeff Harvey, who composed the Starfleet Command music featured during our title sequence. The title sequence also includes some stunning visual assets, the Nebula by Olonkik and the Eclipse by Future of Images, both sourced from, all three sourced from Pixabay and used under the Pixabay content license. You may also hear music throughout the episode from the Michael Gelfie studio. It's all drawn from the Michael Gelfie audio pack, which is generously made freely available for Foundry VTT users. But you can find his work on YouTube, Bandcamp, Spotify, or you can go to his Patreon and get access to lots of stuff. In addition, I've used tracks from the Tabletop RPG music pack, also available for Foundry VTT users. I downloaded that through the Forge. If you want to support their music, they have a Patreon that's at www.patreon.com/tabletop RPG music. That's all one word, tabletop RPG music. Now onto visual assets. As you've probably spotted, I've used lots and lots from Modiphius. They haven't created a movie era tile pack yet. They have produced a next-gen tile pack, and some of them pass fairly well for movie era. I picked up a copy of that through Drive-Thru-RPG. It's also available through Roll20 and Fantasy Grounds, and where they serve as movie era, I've used them. There's 3 creators whose Patreons I am supporting. I'd like to call these out. There's Animated Sci-Fi Maps, and there's Moonlight Maps Sci-Fi, both of whom produce incredible animated maps. I've only used one map in this particular episode, but expect to see lots of assets from these 2 creators throughout the season. There's also Jules and Ben, who created a set of animated assets for fantasy games, magic missiles, fireballs, etc. I've adapted their work pretty heavily, and when we get into ship-to-ship combat and you see phasers, disruptors, tractor beams, photon torpedoes, etc., you will see their assets used for our ship-to-ship combat. There's a couple of art contributors I'd like to also mention from DeviantArt. There's Folk 2009, who has kindly given me permission to use some of his artwork. None of it features in the first episode, but you will see it in future episodes. Then there is Lee Arundel, an incredibly talented artist who sadly passed away in 2023. I can't commission new artwork from him, but I noted on his Facebook site that his father has asked people to contribute to the Great Ormond Street Children's Hospital in his memory. So I'm going to make a donation of what I would have had to pay for his artwork to the hospital, for any work I use in the series. Effects and transmissions. I want to thank, and I apologise if I mispronounce this, Natros for creating the Natros Sci-Fi Animation Pack. I didn't actually directly use his assets, but I did dissect them to have a better understanding of how they worked. And you'll see, as a direct result of that experimentation and understanding, you'll see macros in the title sequence as we transition from titles to disclaimer to episode title, and in the warp effects during the episodes where you see the main view screen and you go into warp, and during some of the visual transition effects during space combat. All of those are based on his work. Final shout out. The episode was supported directly or indirectly by at least 32 separate Foundry VTT module creators, all of which have added something useful to this experience you're about to have. I don't have time to name them all here, but if you spot something you created, please know that I'm incredibly grateful for your work and appreciate any work you've put into Foundry VTT modules. It's possible that I've missed somebody. I apologize if there's somebody out there who's contributed something to this episode that I haven't named. Just be sure that if I use your work, I'm incredibly grateful, and I wish I had acknowledged you here. So thank you to all the people who've contributed to this. Now, let's get back to the show.
Okay, so the lift takes you down. It's fast enough that you feel light as you actually travel down, and then as you slow, you feel the sort of weight increasing. It's that fast. It literally is sort of
It's a drop shoot.
Down. Yeah. And it comes to a stop. There is a crystalline door in front of you.
Okay, I'm going to go first as the security specialist.
Is there a hole that looks like the crystal goes in it?
Not that you can see.
Can we just open it and go through, I wonder?
How are you going to open it?
Just walk.
I mean, normally, yeah, just walking up to them opens things.
Who's holding the crystal?
That's a good question. I say we give it to the telepathic guy.
I want my hand free for weapons, though.
How big is this crystal?
It's a small enough crystal that you can hold it in one hand quite comfortably. It's about the size of a set of car keys.
Oh, that's a little loud.
Oh,
try that. Has that improved it?
Yeah.
What if?
Yeah. Sorry, it got really there.
Tell you what, I'll stop it.
Dr. Roberts, do you want to hold the psychic rejigging?
Oh, I will. I've got safe hands. I think. Yeah, I can hold the crystal. And
As you move the crystal near to the door, because I can see that Dr. Roberts has just walked up to the door.
Yep.
Oops. The wall basically just a small hole appears as you approach it with the crystal, and that sort of extends out to the walls. And you can see a long corridor with beams of light crossing it.
Are the beams of light constant?
Yes. And they're about 6 inches up.
Is it just one line across? One, or is it like one line but they're really wide, or?
They run wall to wall. They're about 6 inches up, and it's a single line.
Could we crawl underneath it?
With them being 6 inches up?
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
You can step over it. If you really want to try and crawl under it, maybe you could try it.
Are we Suliban now? They could make there was Suliban that could make themselves really, really flat and go under doors.
Could we get our engineer to
Poke at them?
See that it's not like an explosive or something?
I'm just going to spend a couple of threats here. Murray's contacts you. There's a storm building up here. Visibility is dropping a bit. All I can see is red.
Can I exit now? Let's just do this quick. If I were to examine it, what would I roll?
Sorry, what are you trying to do with it?
Examine.
This
the thing
beam
you've got.
of. I guess you've got a tricorder, so it's probably reason. Engineering would make sense.
Who's that to? Sorry, Declan.
Nick was asking about
This-
examining it.
Ah, okay.
Would one of my focuses apply to it?
Imaging equipment might well apply to it. So yeah,
Okay.
I would say imaging equipment.
Okay. Oh, okay. It just disappeared. There we go.
Roger has returned.
Two successes.
Nice.
We can get a point of momentum. And you're fairly sure that this is just lighting.
Oh, cool.
Okay, so that's okay.
So is it safe to walk through?
As far as I know, guys, this is just pretty safe. Doesn't look to be any sort of laser thing.
There's an energized crystal on either side, but they don't seem to be attached to anything. They're just basically being given power to produce a light.
Okay, so just for visibility, nothing else.
Oh.
Yep.
All right. No, these lights are nothing special. It looks like it's just to be able to see better. I think it should be safe to walk through.
Okay, and as Mike says that, I'll actually walk through one.
Well, yeah, nothing happens.
Seems safe, guys. I don't understand why they're like this, but yeah.
Okay. So I guess we follow down the hallway.
Yeah.
Do all these lights look the same?
Yes. All the
They're
lights
all in
look
the-
absolutely identical.
And they're all in the same place and everything like that, same height and stuff.
Same height, same place, same color.
Okay.
I suppose head down to the very end.
Yeah.
And then we
You
can
want to
read
do the
it
honor
next
this
door.
time?
So who's doing what with the crystal?
Oh, I've got the crystal, haven't I? So yeah, I'll walk up to the just hit the end. Does it look
Cool.
like a door?
No, it looks like a solid wall, but when you bring the crystal near it,
Mm-hmm.
it opens. As the door, basically, the hole sort of starts enlarging, sort of like an iris valve, but very sort of more organic. You spot that there are several individuals inside this room. Why are there only 4 PCs on my sheet? Oh, Mike's still there.
Because one didn't move their character forward.
I'm kind of assuming that Mike is further down.
Flying. Yeah.
Yeah. Unless you were staying well behind for whatever reason. Can everybody see those Klingons? Or
Yep.
Yeah.
Fine.
I'm not sure if I've got individual vision set up or group vision.
Yeah.
Klingons.
I've seen no Klingon.
You see no Klingons. Let me just change this to be group vision.
We see the Klingons. We just need to adjust our map.
I see 4.
Yeah.
There are 4 lights. Yeah.
Does that change what people can see?
I see.
I think it was fine before.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was,
Oh, okay.
I see 3 Klingon warriors and 1 person wearing a Starfleet uniform.
Oh, wearing a Starfleet.
looks
He
like
should not be wearing a Starfleet uniform. That is the standard icon for Klingon veteran in this game. And that's just using the Modiphius provided icons. So there is Klingon Warrior 1, Klingon Warrior 2, Klingon Warrior 3, and Klingon Veteran.
My screen is black. Should I just refresh?
Screen's black.
Your screen is blank.
Has your screen become blank because your tokens moved to an area you can't see? In that case, if you right click on it, then drag it down, as you go down, do you find a space where Mike can see?
Or you could try zooming out and see if there's anything which you can see. Hang on, let's try this.
No, I mean I'm hovering over Mike, but I can't see.
Try F5.
Okay, F5. Okay. Let's see how that works.
The game is paused though.
Why is it loading title sequence?
Yeah, I see now.
Why is mine loading title sequence? I didn't
Did
tell
you
it to load
press
title
F5?
sequence.
Oh, is it a do-over? Cool.
I don't really want the title sequence again. Okay, I have no idea why mine decided to load title sequence, but it's not done anything apart from loading it. Okay, there are four Klingons in there. And since Dr. Roberts is right at the doorway.
Four lights.
I'm initiating combat, but this may not actually be combat, depending on what people do.
Is this the start of an action scene?
It is indeed the start of an action scene.
Just to make you aware of my talent constantly watching.
And what does that allow you to do?
It means that if you want to go first, because Lieutenant Rivera was waiting for bad stuff to go down, you've got to spend extra threat to get the drop on him.
How much extra threat do I have to spend?
2.
An extra 2 threat to have any
Okay.
NPCs take the first turn.
Oh my God.
Okay,
Lincoln,
Rivera can go first. Rivera can go first.
Yay.
I think, does it have to be me, or could it be an other PC who could go first?
Well, it was going to be Dr. Roberts, because Dr. Roberts was the person who opened the door and saw them.
Oh, well, Dr. Roberts can probably go first then.
But the thing is, if Dr. Roberts goes first, the chances are the Klingons will go second.
That's right. I don't want to steal anyone's thunder. Lincoln was just like, if the Klingons are going first, then Lincoln will push someone out of the way or do something.
I'm just going to share this with you.
Other people to go first without intervening.
I'm going to show. There's a thing called reference cards. I'm hoping I've just shown that to everybody.
Yes.
And one of the useful things here is you have. Let me find the right one. Not Starship Conflict. Conflict. Cool. On the conflict page, you have got things you can spend momentum for, which is really useful. So personal conflict momentum spends is on one of those pages. I think it's on the conflict page. So it's worth knowing that, for example, if you actually do manage to hit somebody, you can spend a momentum to do extra damage. But the one you really want to know about is keep the initiative, because normally you act and then somebody on the other side acts. Whereas if Dr. Roberts acted and then you wanted Rivera to act next, you would choose keep the initiative, which would cost you 2 momentum.
But we don't have to start like Dr. Rivera could try and talk them down if he wanted to.
He could indeed. What is Dr. Rivera trying to do? Andrew. Sorry, not Dr. Rivera, Dr. Roberts. Trying to do.
I've still got my phaser in my pocket, so I'm open-handed. I'm going to say, good evening, gentlemen. What are you all doing here?
And as you say that, your universal translator translates it perfectly into Klingon.
Anyone speak Klingon?
No.
I thought we might have a few Klingon speakers.
Okay, I'm going to ask for 2 rolls in quick succession. First of all, I want an insight security roll from
Insight security.
you. This is a DC 1, so difficulty 1.
Okay. And how much momentum have we got?
You've got 5 momentum. No, you haven't. You got 4 momentum because it went down 1 when you changed scenes.
I might. Oh, no, I'm not gonna. Oh, I've got a negotiation.
You do have negotiation, so you'll be able to tick your focus when you make the
so
roll.
number of dice is still at 2. Okay, my dice. That is not good. No, that is not good. Oh my god, the 9.
Oh, hang on, that was for you. That was for your insight roll. Okay, you didn't spot something. Cool. Don't worry about that. Now for the actual trying to negotiate roll. So you missed what you could have spotted.
Okay. So what do you want for my?
And this is what my character queries in it.
For your negotiation, that's going to be presence command.
Oh, jeez. Oh, I've got 1
A
success.
Just see what the difficulty was. Okay.
Can we spend momentum to break the tie?
No, it's good enough that he's going to at least delay long enough that they're going to talk for a moment. What do you want, Federation?
We're just here to.
You're just here to leave.
No, I won't go that far.
At this point, you probably noticed that all 4 Klingons have got disruptors, and one of them's got a bat'leth.
Have they actually drawn them? Have they actually got them in their hands?
They reached for them. They haven't actually drawn them.
There's no need for violence at this moment in time. We were just simply just walking through and just thought we'll check this place out.
Okay, a couple of things. You've been talking to them for a little while now. A couple of things spark your interest. A, they are not archaeologists, so they shouldn't be down here. In fact, they are wearing the same Klingon uniform as the Klingons from the D7. There is a good chance that they are acting illicitly to clear this place out.
Right. I noticed that you are not archaeologists. May I ask why you're here?
We are just leaving.
Oh.
As are you.
Why would you be leaving? What have you been doing down here?
He is going to try and threaten you. He's pretty good at it. Leave Klingon. Leave Federation before I shoot you. So that will be a daring command to try and intimidate you. Neither of his focus seem to fit. But I am going to spend a threat to increase that because he is quite threatening. You can try and resist it. He got 1 success. You would need 1 success not to be threatened by it.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and resist. Because I do have a focus of calm in a crisis.
Yep, that sounds plausible. These Klingons are not particularly effective.
How do I Do I need to roll against that?
It sounds like control to me. Trying to remain calm. And I would say security. It's the potential of the fight.
Yeah.
You can use your focus of calm in a crisis.
Yeah. Can I buy a dice? Can I?
Yep,
use
of course you can.
momentum? Yeah.
Yep.
Use 1. And. Oh no!
Oh my!
Wow.
Oh.
Okay, he wants you to leave. You've got some choices here. You can either leave or you can resist it. If you resist it, then you are going to take a point of stress, and you're going to take a temporary trait of shaken.
Of what? Shake?
Shaken.
Shaken. Right. Okay.
His threats have disturbed you.
Yeah. I'm going to mark a stress. I'm gonna stand my ground with this.
Okay, and you are a little bit intimidated by this Cleon, so you are also shaken.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I take it stress goes down, doesn't it? From 8.
Yeah, it does.
Click on
You
7.
click on 8, and I don't know. Actually, hang on. No, you click on 7 because
Yeah.
you started at 8.
Yeah, that's fine. And where do I put these traits? Are they in injuries?
No, because put them in injuries, but just make a note that they're actually traits. They're not injuries.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mainly on the grounds that if you actually take a critical wound, it'll matter how many injuries you have, and this is not an injury.
Right.
But there doesn't appear to be a place on the character sheet for traits.
Okay. Right. Oh no, I must insist that we stay, and I would just really want to know why you have been here. What have you been doing?
That sounds like diplomacy again. However, because you are shaken, the difficulty has gone up by 1.
No. Declan, your camera's frozen.
My camera
No, he
has
doesn't
frozen.
move a lot.
Oh,
Yeah.
No movement?
no, you're back now.
It looks like it's good.
Nope.
Audio's still good though.
Everything looks good to me.
I've got you waving again, Declan.
Oh, but I waved ages ago. Am I
Yeah,
now
yeah,
delayed?
I had you when you were waving, not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's weird.
I'm seeing nothing changing on Declan's screen for us.
Good over.
What happens? I'm going to turn my video off and turn it back on again.
Oh no.
Did that do anything?
You're loading.
Right back. Oh, now it says now. Yep.
Okay.
Move, wave.
Do the hokey cokey.
Yeah.
Your faces.
Yeah. My character steps up next to Dr. Roberts.
Oh, Declan, did you want a roll from me?
I don't know. If Kennedy's going to do something, it might change things.
Okay.
My character steps up next to him and snaps out. Kindly do not threaten my crewmate.
You want to call that an assist?
Yes.
That sounds like an assist. It sounds like it's presence command. And it's a good thing you didn't trail on a Ferengi, because they would have found it hilarious.
I need to hit this with presence and command.
And it's just
And
one die.
one
because
pass.
One task, one die.
You're not meant to do it there.
Yes.
Oh, one success.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I like how
I'm
the head
guessing
of
they're
nursing-
slightly taken aback by the snapping doctor,
You're a nurse.
not nurse.
I like how the head of nursing has like some real fire behind her. She takes no steps.
She needs it. She needs to keep them in order.
Just say it for trauma.
Right. So
It's like,
what you
no. Oh, or putting it.
Right,
Yes.
What did you want from me,
Alright.
Declan? Presence command again? Daring command?
I don't know. Let me have a quick look. You weren't so much commanding as trying to. I think it's probably present security at this time.
What does con mean?
That is anything to do with
That's
shipboard action. Either
flying.
it's flying a ship, flying a shuttle, or remembering how to put a vac suit on, or doing a zero-G environmental walk, or knowing where to find the mess on a new ship you've never been on before.
No problem. Right, okay. So yeah, if you're thinking it's definitely not command, then yeah, I would say security.
Yeah.
For me, so.
And you've got one automatic success. You want 2, so you just need 1 more.
How do I use an automatic success?
Why have you got an automatic success? Oh, you mean? Oh, we'll just add the 1. We'll just add 1 success when you rolled.
Right, I get you. Okay.
I can add 1. I'm capable of that. Maths reasonably good.
Oh, for crying out loud! Oh, I've got 2.
Anybody got a suggestion for a complication here?
He stumbles.
They attempt to threaten me.
Well, the obvious thing is the Klingons decide to start shooting.
They try to
Yeah.
threaten Kennedy.
But
Shots
considering he was
appraised,
trying to
right?
persuade them that violence wasn't necessary, they're not going to start shooting because he succeeded in persuading them that violence wasn't necessary.
Could the complication be something to do with the psychic telepathic thingies from the archive?
Oh, that could be it.
I like that.
Oh,
I just want to see my character get threatened because it's fun.
Where the environmental triggers.
Cool. You hear a loud explosion. I'm actually going to spend some threat here as well.
It's not good.
Oh no, that's a lot of threats.
Uh-oh.
No, I
Yes.
actually accidentally added 1, so I've actually spent 2.
Oh, okay.
Okay, this thing here. I'm hoping everybody can see where I'm pointing.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
Shiny doohickey.
It starts to rotate.
Yeah.
And the various sort of glowing orbs on the outside start to get brighter.
Oh, that's bad.
That's not good.
One of the Klingons turns to one of the others and says something in Klingon, but your universal translator is quite happily translated as, "Did we do that when we blew up the controls?"
Lieutenant Rendell, did they do that?
Wait a second. They did what now?
As they turn around and ask whether they did that, I'm going to turn to you, Mike, and go, "Did they do that?"
I think we need some. I think I should check that right now. I think I need to go to one of the controls they blew up. This might not be good.
Okay. You have a feeling that from the sound, the explosion sound, the controls are through this way. That way.
Okay. Should I go for it, or are we still trying to diplomacy?
Okay, I'm not going to bother with the combat encounter. The Klingons are trying to leave as fast as they can. They do have bags full of loot, things which they've taken from this place. If you want to try and stop them, you can.
Could I, and I appreciate this is going to be a very stupid thing to do if it's starting to power up, but can I just try and scan and see whether any of the stuff they're taking is like telepathically active? We're assuming that the shiny doohickey is the thing that's done the telepathic nonsense, but I don't want them to be taking something.
No, nothing. You don't need to. I mean, this is a mental activity, so you don't need to pull any equipment to do it. No, nothing they are carrying feels like a mind.
I am going to slightly taunt them as they go. I'm going to be like, "Oh yes, Klingons, run from the problem."
Yeah, they're heading up that corridor towards the lift as fast as they can.
I'll let them past. Very.
Yeah.
That's right,
think,
Klingon,
yeah.
run away. So useful.
All right.
Wait, who has the crystal? I don't have the crystal.
I have the crystal. I can.
I'm going to, because we are really short on time, configure map,
Beam me up,
lighting,
Sultan.
vision token, fog of war. Right. Does that make it easier for everybody to see what's going on?
Yeah.
Oh, I have to zoom
Yes.
out a bit, Declan. Yeah.
Okay, so
I can see it now.
Excuse me.
Nice maps.
Beautiful quality.
Cool.
So it looks like there's two big generators for something.
Yeah,
Control system there.
you were heading along this corridor. When you get to there is debris everywhere. The Klingons have set a small explosive to destroy this this interface.
Oh, great. Well, that's less helpful. Engineer, what's our options?
Not good. Not good. Things are looking bad. Things are looking really bad.
Engineer this for me. I can't shoot it.
Okay, if we want to fix this, we need to get the rocks out of the way first. Anyone have any good ideas for that besides, I guess, just throwing them out of the way?
Does the console itself look salvageable, or is it completely ruined?
It's completely ruined. Oh, hang on. You have got a repairs and maintenance speciality, Mike.
Yeah, that's why. Is the pathway covered by rocks, or can I just like climb over them?
You can climb over them.
Okay.
This is
I guess
engineering, by the way.
Okay, I guess I'll try to repair. Engineering with what? Would this
Insight?
be control or insight?
I think it's insight.
Okay.
It's trying to understand something you're not familiar with.
Okay.
You could spend 3 momentum and get 2 extra dice.
I think, guys, I think we do that, right?
Doctor,
Yeah.
anything you can do with the panels?
In fact, hang on. It's right at the end of the session. You could spend your determination. Innovation for the win.
Innovation for the win. This is true.
Ooh.
Is there any way I could use my determination to assist him?
No.
I know I don't exactly have the highest engineering score, but surely there's at least something I can do to help.
Let's
I
have a look.
think I should just use my determination.
I'm trying to be helpful.
Yeah. Sometimes all we can do is
I don't immediately see any way that can help. I mean, I can see ways that Link and Rivera could help with, like survival and moving rocks and stuff.
There's some other panels here and at the front. Could you maybe use science rather than an engineering for something?
What are you trying to do? Describe what Lincoln is trying to do.
Oh, I'm going to help move these rocks.
Oh, okay. You can make an assist. You can use survival. That's fitness. You're lifting rocks.
Yep.
That's fitness.
Yep.
That sounds like fitness and engineering to me.
I do all of the press ups all the time. So that is my fitness and engineering, and can I use my survival focus?
Yep, no trouble. But it's only 1 die because it's an assist.
Not going to help.
At least it wasn't a mess up. It was just a fail.
Okay, so I'm using my focus and determination value, right?
Yes. Are you also using that momentum?
Go for it. We'll lose at the end.
I think I use 1 momentum.
Okay.
And what I'll do is I'll use procedural compliance, so I can remove that 1d 20 so that I can get an automatic success on the task.
Oh, hang on, that'll work. Look at that.
So it's just 2 dice and 1 automatic success already.
Apart from the fact that you're okay, yeah, but you're also using determination, weren't you?
Yes. What does determination do if I use it?
So what you actually want to do is you want to use focus because you're using a focus, use determination because you are using determination, and then you've got 1 additional die. So set your number of dice to 1, and then you'll have an automatic success on top of this.
Okay, so I'm rolling 1 dice then?
1 dice plus the determination dice plus focus. So it'll actually roll 2 dice.
Okay. Let me roll. 12.
Ooh.
Okay, so you got your determination is an automatic 1. Then your other 2 dice, 1 of them succeeded, and you have 1 additional automatic success. That's 4 successes. Cool.
All right.
And that cost you a momentum, but you gained 2 momentum. Okay, looking at this, it's really badly damaged. You don't see any way of repairing this, but you can figure out how to reroute it to, say, any other terminals on this level, if you could find them.
Okay, would that be another roll?
You'd have to find another terminal, which I'm guessing people are going to do. We have 15 minutes left, so I'm guessing you're going to explore the level and you're going to find this terminal over here.
All right. So would I have to go to that terminal, or would I stay at the one I might just rerouted there?
Everybody'd have to go over to that terminal over there.
Okay.
Do you want me to move all your counters? Just do it that way. There you go.
Oh. No. No, someone's been event.
Oh, and now I'm downloading world data for no apparent reason.
My character's stuck in the wall.
Looking at this, it looks like what you have here is an archive of memories. It looks like when they realized that their civilization was failing, some of the remaining survivors stored their memories in this thing. It also looks like the intention was to restore memories to one individual, not to a whole group of individuals simultaneously.
So it hit them all just because they were all present at once.
Yeah, and it's fragmented bits of memories across 5 people.
Which brings to the $64,000 question is, how do we clear this stuff out of somebody's head?
You move it back to the archive.
Okay, so we've got to.
The person who
We have a guinea pig.
Oh,
it's possible that if this is one person's memories, then if they get the completed file, that also contains like the readme instructions.
Can you run that past me again?
Like, if the problem is that the memories have been split up, it would make sense. It would be the logical thing to do if you were creating that system to include in the complete set of memories a readme for how the system works.
That would make some bizarre sense.
Because if you know your civilization is dying, you're going to include the user manual for the thing that keeps your species alive in what you're
sending. 2 momentum, I'll go with that.
In which case, we just need to find someone that we can dump the memories into until.
I'll go with that for 2 momentum of your 4.
What do we think, guys?
I think 2 momentum is good.
Sounds like your best option.
You find looking through. Well, actually, you don't find it because it's actually Nick as Mike who's looking through it. But Mike, you discover what looks to be
it's me in the wall.
An artificial memory with instructions that you think you could actually put into somebody or yourself.
No, not myself.
A willing volunteer.
Actually, maybe that might be better. Maybe myself might be better. What do you guys think?
When she learns it, Kennedy speaks up. I'll do it. My mind's enough of a weird place.
Are you sure? Anyone else? Anyone else? If no one else wants to, I'm willing to do it. If not, we can go for Kenny. I'm assuming you have a strong mind.
If Kennedy is doing it, I think that would
it.
actually get you a point of determination because you are acting as a good leader and getting your hands dirty and putting yourself at risk because of your values. So I would actually say that gets you a point of determination.
Yeah, could I know.
Like I can drag you back if needs be.
Save lives.
All right. I guess what role would I have to make then? Or would it be Kenny making the role?
It's a DC one. You've got the idea of how this archive works.
Yeah. What are you rolling? Engineering insight again?
Yep.
Okay. Would any of my focuses work on this, or is it just regular roll?
Your focuses. No.
Maybe
Repair and maintenance. Yeah, I'll go with repair and maintenance. This is an ancient system.
Okay, let's roll. Please.
That looks good.
I see. All right.
2 successes. Okay, you have effectively transferred. I mean, Kennedy has to go and stand next to the large orb, which is the actual archive, and touch it, and then you set up the transfer. The memories flood into her of how to operate this system, and she knows precisely what to do. Which means anything else you need to do doesn't need a skill roll. She's got the full knowledge of everything she needs to do anything here.
I guess it's time to fix everything.
Yeah, you reckon, and I think I'll almost narrate this because we are sort of 8 minutes from the end. You believe that you need to get the fragments back of all 6 people and put them back in the archive. Then if you wanted to, you could take memories out of it and put them into people. There are 5 sets of memories there. 4 of them are still sat in the archive untouched, and 1 of them has been taken and split between 5 people. And looking at this, it looks like you've got the minds of some of the greatest poets that the preservers had. No
So you're telling me
anything else?
poetry?
The telepathic poetry archive.
Yep. The archaeologist, Dr. Sullivan, will be eager to volunteer for this. If you wanted to transfer the memories into somebody, Trivos would be quite eager to do it as well. Kulvas, the Klingon, is only interested in things he can turn into a weapon, so he's no interest whatsoever. However, Carla, whose specialities are art restoration and archaeological interpretation and art, is very interested in poetry. If you wanted to transfer memories to them.
Yeah. I guess our first task is shoving the memories back in so we can take them back out right.
Yep.
Well, thankfully we have a guinea pig. We've got a Klingon sitting up in the shuttle, frothing and straining.
The one person who really wouldn't like it.
So let's fix him first, and then we'll fix everybody else.
We'll just clean up. We'll just,
And as a test, you put the mind of the preserver, children's poet laureate, into the mind of this bloodthirsty Klingon.
And then, who knows? Maybe he'll become
like a combination.
That feels like poor medical ethics, but I'm not the medic, so
well,
I don't
no,
know.
actually,
Let's put it this way. Maybe he'll decide to give up war and become a hippie, a pacifist, which would actually probably be kind of worse.
He now remembers that the mind and memories of somebody who used to write poetry for children and was renowned amongst his people. Yes.
He
No.
invented poetry. Now we're back to eating.
But it does seem to work.
Yeah.
You have now restored one of the memories from a lost civilization with memories that, archaeologists will be absolutely thrilled by this knowledge, even if it is only poetry. It tells you lots about the society.
Woo, Discovery!
Yep.
We did a Star Trek.
We have 4 minutes left. So, I'm guessing you have to wait the storm out here and then get a lift back to the ship. Probably you have solved everything pretty much.
We fixed the problem.
Well, we need to get the others down here to handle them, but at least we have a handle on it.
I think you're at a point where you could leave it up to the scientists and the archaeologists to sort this out for themselves. Unfortunately, there's a group of Klingons who are now disappearing off in a D7, having stolen lots of stuff from this city, things which they thought looked valuable. Because they were warriors, they took things which are shiny rather than things which were actually valuable.
Yeah. Well, that is a diplomacy issue we will leave to the diplomats.
That makes sense.
We were more interested in saving lives,
Cool. Which we did.
So I think that's a reasonable conclusion to tonight. So let's do this.
Ooh.
Now, can I actually channel my my next time on Star Trek Odysseus?
Oh boy!
Infection Protocol. Deadly outbreak on a mining relay station sparks fears of biological warfare, forcing the crew to race against time to contain the threat.
You're going to have a field day with that.
Oh, gee, a defection. That's going to be a fun day for me.
Would it be reasonable for them to want to take out the instruction booklet from my head and so they can put in one of their scientists' heads?
That would make a lot of sense. They probably will do that. Yes.
That would.
Yeah, so I go. I currently have the instructions in my mind. We will transfer them back so you may put them in one of your scientists as I am going to leave with my ship.
We can just take that as given.
We
know how to do this. It's a no-brainer.